Me and Cooper are the worst, most sucker MCs in the world. We have bad breath, we smell bad, and everybody that we've dated cheats on us because we're not good partners. We have bad teeth and they're rotting, and we're poor, and we come from a bad family, and there's photos of our girlfriends sucking other guys' dicks.
Okay. Are we calling it the Dagnabbit Boys?
I think so. I think that's a pretty good name, right? What do you think about it?
I have no other idea, and I think it's fine with me.
Yeah. I mean, every podcast has boys in the name, doesn't it?
What other one has boys?
Doughboys, Sissy Boys.
Well, that's now defunct.
Yeah.
There's Bussin' with the Boys.
Both of those are defunct, I think.
Doughboy? What is Doughboys?
I don't know. They just eat food and review it.
Fuck. Should we be doing that?
I guess so. I mean...
Does this shit suck already? Should we be eating food?
Yeah, I mean, we got coffee. Coffee's
pretty...
That's kind of food. It's like beans.
Should we, talk about culture more?
Yeah, culture sucks.
Talk about,
What's your take on it?
As a whole, or, specific?
All culture sucks. Every culture sucks.
So you think it would be better if everywhere...
There was no culture.
So, no music?
Yes.
In, fashion?
Yes.
So no music, everybody's naked. Food is still a part of culture, though.
Is it?
Yes.
Do ants have culture? They eat food.
Ants have a bit... I mean, I think they do in the way that a red ant's culture is different than, other kind of ant's culture. They do different shit.
Well, I don't like the art part of culture.
So you don't like art?
No.
Because culture is kind of inevitable.
Yeah.
Anything you do is going to be culture.
Yeah, I guess that's true. So
there's kind of no way out of it.
So we're already arguing about culture. This is going to be a good podcast.
I mean, honestly, it seems pretty smart off the jump.
Yeah.
We kind of jumped right into culture.
Yeah, yeah.
Pop culture.
Pop culture. Oh, that's the worst kind. That's fucking...
It's got to be the worst kind.
Yeah.
Pop culture has to be the worst kind.
There's
But what? Pop culture is just current culture.
Yeah, let's get this shit in the future already.
You're saying speed it up.
Yeah, let's get to the pop culture of the future.
So you see Miley Cyrus and you're like, yeah, catch me when she's 85.
Yeah, exactly. Catch me when she's a slut at 85.
Yeah, then I'm
gonna see them saggy ass tits.
Right, then I'll be down with that. I think that would be cool.
I don't think young women are hot. I only like old bitches.
Mature?
Yes.
On porn sites, you don't go MILF, you go mature.
Yeah, there's nothing more there's nothing less cultured than an old woman.
Really? You think
That's what I think.
So you think a young woman is more cultured than an old woman?
They're always trying to read books and stuff, where old women just want dialysis.
I think old women read a fuck ton.
Yeah, dialysis manuals.
On how to take dialysis?
Yeah.
That's all those bitches be reading?
Yeah.
Man, my grandma's dumb as fuck. All she do is read dialysis manuals, trying to figure out how to live.
Yeah.
What the fuck is you living for?
Yeah. My Nana dumb. She reading about dialysis and texts from family members that aren't me.
You think are young people reading?
No, I think...
Is that a thing where young people aren't reading?
Well, I went to a literary reading recently, and the answer to that is no, they aren't reading. They aren't reading anything good. They're reading blog posts and shit.
You went to a literary, you went to an author reading a portion of their book?
No, it was in a bar. It was just a bunch of 20-year-olds reading stuff they wrote.
Oh, so they're writing.
Yeah, they're writing.
What were they, poems?
There was poems. There was short stories. It was actually okay. It was actually
I used to
right.
go to poetry readings before I started stand-up.
Yeah.
I'd go with my father. And they're a lot like open mics, except when somebody's being a fucking loser, nobody tells them.
Oh, yeah.
So one time I went to a poetry reading, and this guy went up and he was like, there's a style of poetry that has been lost in the new age, and I am bringing it back. And then he just went up and read a faux Shakespearean, completely indiscernible piece of shit, long as fuck poem.
And at an open mic, he would have got fought for that.
in an open mic he might have crushed.
Yeah.
Honestly. Poetry readings are way sadder too because there's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
There's being a famous writer is crazy. Nowadays. But being a famous poet is like impossible.
Yeah.
I think you have to like, even famous poets are like, they're not even famous. It's just like somebody at a college decides they're good and then like gives them money to write a book nobody gives a fuck about.
Oh, absolutely.
And then like somebody who also has a similar level of master's degrees is like, this is great.
Yeah, I was at the fucking reading thinking, like, am I like a capitalist crony? Because I'm like, what's the trajectory of this? Like, where do you go from this?
I mean, my thought on that, especially with stand-up, is like there's some people that are like, oh, I don't give a fuck about the club. I was talking about this last night where it's like, if you in stand-up attempt to make money, what you're also doing is attempting to get better work.
Yeah.
And also work for an audience, which is the job. So stand-up's different, but like if you're going after money, you're actually going to become a much better stand-up because then you're not performing to open mic because you're performing to paying crowds. And
Yeah.
You're learning how to do stand-up. So it's like, no, I don't really think that's a bad perspective. But then again, with poetry, it's like, it's not a crowd thing. So like you fucking, you can just sit in your room and still be famous. Like the life of like a successful poet versus a not successful one is just like having a house.
Yeah.
But like that's
well,
it.
all these poets have like, they don't need jobs. Their family like owns a bank in the Northeast.
A lot of them now, yeah. My dad was a poet. I mean, he still is.
But he's a poet back when like being a poet was cool and also like not having money was badass.
Yeah, it was cool back then. There was, at the same time there was a comedy boom, there was a poetry boom that people don't know about.
Yeah.
And they're very similar because like my dad was like me where he'd go to readings and he was like cool kind of in the scene because he had a very successful LA Arts magazine that like Allen Ginsberg liked and like Bukowski fucked with it and all these fuckers. So like he would go to poetry readings and then like Stephen Baldwin would be there.
Yeah.
And like because Bukowski was famous, it's just like instead of like Bukowski being really good at what he does, it's just Stephen Baldwin trying to do that, who's like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
So he's just like, I fucked a girl.
Yeah.
He's just talking about how he fucked a girl.
Yeah.
And then people are like, that's sick.
And he's like, I kissed a woman.
And everybody's like, damn.
It tasted weird.
You're the crazy Baldwin brother. But then we found out he's not the crazy Baldwin brother.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's read some fan mail. Welcome to the first episode of Dagnabbit, boys.
We talked about culture already, so we talked about comedy, so you know we're a very different podcast from the other ones.
Yeah, just to let you know, this isn't like your regular podcast. You know, we talk about things like culture.
Yeah, and how it sucks, and we talk about shit like old bitches.
Well, other podcasts will talk about culture like it's good.
Yeah.
Our stance is that it's bad.
Yeah, exactly.
We're actually trying to make this podcast devoid of culture.
Oh,
Only
absolutely.
Commentary.
No artistic merit whatsoever.
No merit. It's full critic.
Next week's episode is it's gonna be 30 minutes of me jacking off, and then it's gonna be 30 minutes of Cooper jacking off.
And then we look at the camera and we're like, hey, philosophers, try and make culture out of that.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, that actually is culture. That is your culture. You've decided. That's just what it
And then we
is.
pull the dildo out of our ass and it's covered in shit. And we're like, hey, is this art?
Yeah, is that culture?
Yeah, is this art to you, you fucking idiot?
Oh, would Foucault like this? You fucking asshole.
Yeah. Descartes can suck my dick.
Who's the motherfucker, the Dada artist that one of his things was just a urinal?
Duchamp or some shit like that.
Duchamp. Yeah, that guy. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, dude.
I mean,
go drink piss out of that urinal, you stupid bitch.
I mean, a lot of art is funny because it's like almost equally a prank, where it's just like, damn, that motherfucker like got to sell a flipped upside down urinal.
Yeah.
And then,
or like, look, that guy painted a picture of some bitch we don't know shit about.
Is that how you feel when you're in a museum and you see portraits? You're like, I don't know this bitch. Why would I care?
Yeah, exactly. I look at the Mona Lisa and I'm like, yeah, but like, what's her pussy like?
Yeah, who is this bitch?
Yeah.
Does she have a job?
Yeah. Would she have a Twitter? Does she have like a major Twitter following?
What does she think?
Yeah.
Is she racist?
Yeah, is Mona Lisa racist? Let's figure this out.
That's why we don't like culture.
Yeah.
Because all the people in these paintings were probably fucking racist.
Oh, absolutely.
And that is
You know why she's smiling? Because the guy drawing it kept saying the N-word.
Yes.
She agreed with the N-word.
Leonardo da Vinci. He invented the N-word.
Yeah, that was one of his major inventions.
It was actually a wartime invention.
Yeah.
It was such a horrific word, even before they ascribed it to a group of people, that they would stand outside the walls and they would have, what are they called? Like fortress, like it's storm. It's like inventions they used to storm whatever.
Yeah.
But they would stand on top of this tower that usually they would use to rush over, but instead of rushing over, they would just stand on top and scream the N-word. And the other people were like, nah.
You know, I heard that the reason he wanted to invent a flying machine so he could say the N-word everywhere.
He was disgusting.
He was awful.
He was a piece of shit. Like, I can't imagine a worse guy. He was literally like, what if I said the N-word as high as possible?
But yeah.
Anyway, that's not what this podcast is about.
No, absolutely
not. We're not a
not.
podcast that's fucking just two comedians doing bits. Okay?
Absolutely not. No.
We're talking about non-culture.
Yes, exactly.
That's what we're into.
That's what the Dagnabbit Boys is about. Because you listen to it, you say, we see something cultural, we go, Dagnabbit.
Yeah, and it pisses us off.
Absolutely.
I pay to go, and you don't have to, I don't think, but I pay to go into the LA County Museum of Art.
Yeah.
Every 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Just so I can walk around and just be like, fuck.
Like Dagnabbit.
Fuck. This is
I wish I
fucked.
was cooler so I could steal paintings.
I just look at a sculpture and I go, the fuck is this? And then
Why is his dick out? Is that cool?
I go up to
Is
people.
a penis cool?
Oh, is that cool? Oh, so penises are cool. I'll take
Yeah.
my penis out.
Yeah. And then they
it's an
hate it.
Yeah. And it's like, why are you're looking at a fake penis?
Yeah.
I have a real penis. Motherfuckers on field trips talking shit.
Yeah, absolutely. About my penis.
All right, so what
you
do we got?
6-year-olds talking shit about my dick.
What do we got for fan mail?
Oh yeah. Let me get you I just like kind of copy and pasted this and put it in a doc so you
Okay,
can yeah.
great. So these are segmented, yeah.
Yeah, all right. So
Okay.
this is our fan mail segment.
So this is from username Rip Queen of Hearts 78. Subject Copper. I think they meant Cooper, but
I'm like 90%
yeah.
sure.
Okay, so they said huge, lot of U's. Huge fan of the pod. Love Shane, but Copper. Okay, so they mean me. They definitely mean me. Love Shane, but
These people are fucking stupid.
yeah, I don't know. I don't really like that, but whatever. Love Shane, but Copper is by far my favorite part of the podcast. Okay, so they're nice at least. They don't know how to say my name. I love his stories so much. You almost believe they actually happened. I don't know why people always shit talk Copper. He adds a lot to the flavor of the podcast and even says some funny things sometimes.
They're really complimenting
well, that's
you.
odd because it's really there's a lot of backhands. Because first off, they're mentioning that a lot of people talk shit about me, which I don't know. This is the first episode, so I don't know. I don't even know where the mail's from. But funny thing sometimes too is weird because they say it's my they say I'm their favorite part of the podcast, but I only say funny things sometimes. So I don't know how
They're
feel.
really on you, dude.
So okay, I loved his riff about how he doesn't call his mom even though she misses him. I don't know. Hope for 1,000 years of new casts and that Copper fixes his plumbing so his apartment no longer smells of human shit and piss.
I mean, you do have to fix that.
So that's our first ever fan mail.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when you go to Cooper's house, it does reek of human shit and piss.
How do they know that?
Well, you talked about it.
Okay. On the last episode?
Yeah.
Before
I think
this
so.
one?
Yeah.
On the episode before? Okay.
I believe so, yes.
Okay, so this one is from Young Girl 16. I don't like that to begin with. I don't like that there's a 16-year-old girl that is sending in. I really would... Okay, I mean, you can't stop people from listening, but I don't really love that. Subject, best
He doesn't
podcast
love it.
ever. Hey, Cooper. Okay, she said my name right. Hey, Cooper and Shane, love it. Shane is one of the funniest people I've ever heard, and Cooper is the best assistant ever. Okay. Well, that's not the... We're just co-hosts.
Yeah, a lot of
Did
people
you
don't
say that?
understand. No, I didn't.
Why do they think
I
that?
didn't. I did not DM every listener and tell them you're my assistant. No.
Cooper showed me the pod when he was complimenting my bikini, and I fell immediately in love with Cooper. I just want to say that didn't happen. I don't know who this person is. They sound underage. I am
A lot of these have been. We're gonna post pictures of proof.
okay.
that
No,
these are
please,
real.
no. There's no pictures of that. They would be doctored.
They were
I don't talk to anybody under the age of like 20, so I don't know what this is. Okay, what? I'll just keep going. I don't. Okay, Cooper is my fave. Parentheses. Don't listen to the haters. So that's coming up again that they're mentioning. Okay. and so cute too. I don't like that. I don't like that this possibly 16-year-old person is. I'd say Shane is cute too, but he never replies to my DMs because I'm underage. LOL. Okay, so confirmed underage. Once again, I don't know this person, and I don't. Okay. Also, Coop, you better make do on your promise to take me underwear shopping. LMAO. Okay, I didn't think I'd have to defend myself, but that
a lot of this fan mail is accusing you of very legal things.
Well, it's a child accusing me of being a pedophile, which is.
Well, are you a pedophile in that situation? Because I mean, they're 16.
If I had done that, yes, but I did not. So
you're calling yourself a pedophile.
Where are you getting these from?
From the direct line.
Okay.
We have a email us at dagnabbitboys@gmail. That's where a lot of this is coming from.
Yeah, but not if you're underage.
Well, if Cooper asks
that.
you to, if Cooper asks you to send messages.
I don't think I've complimented a woman in a bikini once in my life. I just want to say that.
So you don't like when women are in bikinis?
No, I just don't tell them about it.
Why not?
I don't want to fuck kids. I just want to say.
I don't know where this is coming from.
All right, Godzilla trailer 1997. All right, so that's an of-age person at least. Subject, hello. Listening to y'all's podcast makes my workdays feel so short. I love Shane's riffs and jokes and Cooper's contributions. So we're kind of still going with this whole "you're the leader" thing here. Which
I don't know. It must just be something people are picking up on.
I don't know how. This is the first episode, but I tried getting my boss into the pod, but he said he can't get past Cooper's annoying voice and laugh. I think I've actually heard I have a nice voice for broadcasting, but that hurts. I guess some people just don't like intellectuals. Well, I appreciate that. I hope you guys continue to make new casts and that Cooper doesn't slip in his piss accidentally and suck his own dick again. There's a lot of things being said in this that haven't happened.
Well, there's some reason that this...
I don't think so.
There has to be some reason that all of these people are saying things that have, as far as things you've told me personally in private, have happened.
No, I didn't tell any of you this in private.
You told me it.
No.
And I don't... If it's... How are they finding out about these, very personal stories about you?
It sounds like you're spreading misinformation. That was from Gary, by the way. He also just said his name.
Oh, okay. Shout out to Gary. Hey, thanks for listening.
I'm still glad we're just past the second one. So, username, this is the last one. Username ISIS supporter 666. Bad start. That's a rough,
I don't know, man. We're against
start.
ISIS. That's a member of culture, I think.
Well, I guess. I don't know. It seems kind of mean to call ISIS culture. It seems mean to the country to call them ISIS as a culture. I feel like a lot of people would say
that's mean?
I don't know.
They're making art.
Like if you tell the people, where's ISIS from?
Canada?
No, it's Puerto Rico. But okay. Anyway, the subject is 9/11/2. Okay. All right. I have bad opinions, and your podcast gave me them. Okay, fuck. That's bad.
Please don't listen to our podcast and take away bad things.
I was really excited when you said we had fan mail before we'd even released an episode. I thought this is getting off great, but so far I've been accused of pedophilia, and it seems like I'm about to get wrapped up into some terrorist plot, which I really hope this doesn't affect the algorithm. I feel like it's okay.
Well, how would Instagram know we're responsible for whatever 9/11/2 is?
Well, okay. I mean, this guy's kind of trying to implicate us, but anyway.
Do you think that's what this is?
This is dangerous. I have bad opinions, and your podcast gave me them. I love Copper. So we're back to Copper. I love Copper because I'm a bad guy who thinks bad things, and Copper lets me know it's okay to be me. I listen to Copper's rants while I'm building pipe bombs, and it inspires me to work harder. So is he talking about my podcast that I do alone?
That might be what everyone is talking about.
How have I inspired him? I don't talk about I talk about not drinking in my pod. Okay. I hope one day you guys see me on the news, oh, Jesus Christ, and think, oh, that was because of us, because of what Copper said on the podcast. He really's driving it home. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend.
That was a very nice guy. at the end of it, you know, because he like the thing is, it's kind of like that thing with metalheads. You assume they're gonna be like bad guys, and then they're like very nice.
But they're like actually kind of sweet.
Yeah, they're very sweet. That's kind of like that guy. Well, I wonder what he's gonna do on the news.
It sounds like he's going to commit an act of terrorism.
Let me reread why he's doing that.
I would like
Because of what Copper said on the podcast. I don't know. That's not looking good for you at all.
No.
This whole segment's not looking good for you.
I think I'm going to get in trouble. I think I'm going to get in trouble.
It's the first episode. You're already in trouble.
I didn't do any of those things. I don't like that all the fan mail was really supportive, but also implicating me in terrorism and pedophilia. Two of maybe the worst crimes you could commit.
Yeah, I mean...
I can't really think of...
Focus on the positive, though.
What is?
Well, that they were very supportive of you.
Yeah.
Despite what many would say, according to the fan mail. I don't know. I don't read the comments. I try not to read the comments on our stuff, because I get fired up. I'd be like, hey, Cooper is funny. Shut up. I'd be like, hey, Cooper's leg, he doesn't have one shorter leg than the other.
People saying that?
A lot of people have been saying that.
People think I have one shorter leg than the other. They're totally...
They think generally that you're a freak,
They're completely normal. I mean, are people
I can see it.
No, you can't. Are people fans of...
I can kind of see that why people would think that maybe one of your legs is shorter than the other and that you're not funny. But, like, I don't agree with it.
Okay. Can we just... I just want to say to anybody else who's going to send in fan mail, which you can send to dagnabbitboys@gmail.com if that Gmail hasn't already been taken.
Let's put it underneath.
This Gmail also doesn't exist at the time of recording.
Gmail doesn't exist?
No. The email.
Oh. No, it existed. That's where we got the fan mail from.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Just if you send in stuff, it's sort of, I would like to keep the rule of if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything.
Well, a lot of what they said was nice. They were saying that they supported you.
It wasn't that nice.
A lot of it was very nice.
It was.
They said they liked your contributions. They said they liked your made-up stories.
It was enthusiastic, but it implicated me in several crimes.
Do you think that implicating someone in a crime is mean?
Yes, I could go to Guantanamo Bay. Do you know what would happen to me there?
No.
They'd torture me.
What would they do? They would they'd make you like kiss a girl or something?
Yeah, probably.
That'd be crazy.
I'd probably have to
if you'd have to kiss a girl for the first time?
Yeah, I'd have to kiss some thin-lipped Midwestern bitch.
Oh, yeah.
That shit would piss me off.
Yeah. Guantanamo Bay for me would just be like if like feminism didn't exist. That's like what
That's
it would
your
be.
Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah.
So like in this Guantanamo Bay, you're in prison.
But it's America, and it's like if feminism never happened.
Yeah, and they like bring a woman to your cell.
Yeah.
And they're like, they just kind of position her in front of your cell, and then they just go like, "Fuck you" to the lady. And you're just
like, that's what to me feminism is that you don't go up and be mean to women all the time.
When did you stop doing that?
I started being a feminist around 22.
So
before that, I was pissed off.
So before you were a feminist, you would go up to women and be like, "Fuck you." Just
I didn't know what feminism was.
Yeah.
I didn't know it meant not doing that.
And then you learned what feminism was, and you were like, "Damn, I'm gonna stop telling these bitches to go suck an egg."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. When I started being a feminist, I started saying nice things to women, like, "Hey, like you'd be so much prettier if you smiled."
You know what's really funny? One time when there was the Women's March happening in L.A., like, I don't know if you remember that, because I don't think you lived here. You're still in Tennessee. But after, like, the day after Trump got elected, they had a march in downtown of, like, 60,000, mostly women. And they were in, like, the Pussy Hats, if you remember that.
Yeah.
It was, like, one of the biggest women's marches. And then I went, and I invited my friend. And my friend was very funny because he brought his camera, and he kept telling me and only me, "I'm just here to take pictures." And I kept telling him, I was like, "You're part of the march." And he was like, "Nah, I'm just taking pictures." And I was like, "Why do you not want to be a part of this?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "You realize that a march is just about a show of force or whatever? It's just about showing the amount of people that care about this topic." I'm like, "If you're in the group, you're in the march." And he was like, "Nah.
Really?
Just photos. I'm just an artist."
Yeah.
He's trying to elevate himself.
It is funny to go to the Women's March and just be like, I'm going to take pictures of the women there.
Yeah, it's very creepy. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't like single women that he was like, hell yes. Like, it wasn't like that. It was like of the crowds. But
that's like so many women.
yeah, it's a lot of women to take a picture of.
Yeah.
He didn't get their approval.
Oh, absolutely not. He didn't
was
blur
trying to-
their faces out or even their juicy tits.
I mean, there was like 20,000 women on Broadway, and he was like, can I take a picture of y'all?
yeah.
And like
Was he country?
no, but he was acting a little country that day, you know what I mean?
It is very country to show. It'd be like, hey, there's women there. Let's bring our camera.
I wonder how many guys went to that march trying to fuck.
Basically every guy that was there. That's probably why you were there, because you're like disgusting.
No, that's when I'd still go to marches.
Really?
Yeah, I'd
What
go
was
to-
your favorite march?
We had a real good one. It was fucking protesting cops in schools, and I went.
And you were on the side of the cops?
No, actually, I was.
That was why that was your favorite one?
No, I was with.
Because you got to march all over these protesters' heads?
No, I don't even think the cops would let me join. I think if you went to that protest and you're like, "I'm on your side," they'd be like, "Fuck off."
Yeah.
But no, we went.
You'd be like, can I throw a smoke grenade?
It was my favorite because we got beef sandwiches after.
Ooh, all right. All
Because the
right.
thing about a march is
There was beef sandwiches in jail?
no. The thing about a march is, as long as you're there, you're doing the job. So it doesn't really matter what you're talking about. So we were there showing force, and then I was talking to my friends. I'm like, Philippe's the original. They invented the French dip. It's really close to here.
Oh, yeah,
And we
yeah.
went and got beef sandwiches and got drunk. And that's just a good example of like, that's honestly, I think, like the common mindset of most people at those marches. It's
Oh,
like,
that you
what-
can go get beef sandwiches because the one in downtown's like the original French dip?
Like, I think most people, like white people like me that are at those marches, what's in their head is like, what are we going to eat after?
Oh, yeah. Well,
Whereas-
that's my thought when I go to anything. I like go visit my uncle in jail, and I'm like, yeah, but what are we eating after?
Well, that's the problem. The situation could be the most serious thing in the world.
Yeah.
But you're still like, what
That's
is...
why they have food at funerals.
I was about to say, it cuts out the middleman.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like, listen, after you lay down paw, you're going to be hankering.
Yeah, for some cake for some reason. They always have like cake and like you're celebrating.
Do they?
We had cake at my papa's funeral.
After the food?
It was in the food. It was amongst. There was like a separate room
Yeah.
for the food.
Right. Did the cake say anything?
Congrats. No.
Like, yeah, did it
It
say
was like happy graduation.
we miss you, or was it
no,
just
it was just like a cake that somebody had brought.
what color was it? Was it like white?
It was like, yeah, it was like white.
That
and
seems
like,
inappropriate. I
Yeah,
feel like it
yeah.
should be black. It
Yeah?
should be,
it should be like chocolate cake.
yeah, no, but like dyed black, like so it's actually black.
So you want there to be a goth cake at the
I think
funeral?
yeah, I think there should be like
All the food here should be goth.
there should be like a somber cake.
Yeah.
Like a cake that when you take a slice, you go, oh.
You're just like, yeah, why is there's chicken here, but why is it white? This chicken should be black
All the
to
food,
match our emotions.
all the food should be black. It should be
Yeah.
like it should be a Dr. Seuss ass affair.
Oh yeah, funerals are kind of like Dr. Seuss.
It probably would be fucked up if after a funeral you served green eggs and ham. It's probably too whimsical, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You started playing that fucking instrument from the Grinch stole. What if the Grinch showed up to your funeral?
The Grinch stole grandpa.
Yeah, what if the Grinch tried stealing the funeral?
Motherfuckers would be heated.
Oh, absolutely.
I'd bury that motherfucker alive if he tried to steal my grandma.
I thought I saw the real Grinch the other day. It just turned out to be a toy. I almost knocked that motherfucker out.
Yeah? You're in
Yeah.
a Target? You almost
No,
blocked
it was
him?
it was at like a cafe, and they just had like a Grinch there, and I thought that the Grinch was just sitting on the counter.
You do like a double take where you walked in, you were like, huh?
I spit out my coffee. I was like,
You t-
"What do you? What do you? Pretty bold of you to show your face around here, especially around Christmas."
got a lot of fucking balls showing
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Well, the Grinch is like reformed now.
Well, he got reformed at the end of it, but it's like there's no proof that he really truly changed. You know,
Grinch is kind of like a guy that got canceled almost. Where
he was like original canceled.
yeah,
Yeah,
he like got in trouble and then he was like, I changed.
Yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
different man now.
yeah.
The
I'm-
Grinch is a lot like Chris D'Elia.
oh,
Like, after
really?
the Grinch got caught stealing Christmas, he was like, I got a wife and kids. It's
The Grinch
totally...
is banned from the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As he fucking should be. Do you know how uncomfortable he'd make all the comics if the Grinch was there?
Oh, yeah.
It's not safe to audience members.
Especially around Christmas, because you're like trying to keep your presents real close.
He'd be stealing motherfuckers' drinks and shit.
He'd be like, is this Christmas?
Is this Christmas?
Is it Christmas to get fucked up?
That dumbass always thinks it's Christmas. That motherfucker's always...
That motherfucker in Target trying to steal fucking medication, like, is medication Christmas?
His dumbass is walking around in July talking about, is it Christmas? Like, no. Go home.
Motherfucker walk around stabbing people, taking their wallets, talking about, is this a present? Motherfucker robbed the dice game, talking about, look, this Christmas for sure.
Grinch be violating people in old folks' homes, talking about, is this Christmas? Grinch be sexually assaulting the elderly in geriatric homes, saying, is this some Christmas shit? Looking at an old...
Christmas be paying the morgue attendant $100 to go in and fuck the dead bodies, talking about, is this Christmas?
No, it's not Christmas.
It's not Christmas to pay a morgue attendant to go fuck some 40-year-old's body, Grinch.
This isn't Whoville. It's Cedar Sinai and you're fucking a dead body. How is this Christmas to you? The fuck is Christmas to you?
Motherfucker thinks when he comes it's Christmas. Just because it's white.
We should make like a Grinch horror
Is Grinch
movie.
like a bear?
No, he's his own creature.
He kind of looks like a bear, like a skinny bear to me.
He does. If you do see a picture of a bear without fur, he actually kind of looks like that. That's fair.
Yeah, that's what I always thought is like, this bear stealing shit?
Mm-hmm. I want to have there should be like a Grinch horror movie where instead of stealing Christmas, they're just like, when that shit dropped, everybody was like, he's disgusting, he's a pig, like everything you'd expect a normal person to say. And then you were
I was like, at least didn't steal Christmas.
And you were like, yeah, like he did abuse his power, but like at least he didn't steal Christmas.
Yeah, I was like, at least I still got my presents, you know?
Yeah. At least I still got my fucking presents. Harvey Weinstein better not come at my Razor fucking scooter.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, that's what we should be telling kids in school, like, as a way to get them to not, like, assault people, is be like, hey, like, it's kind of like stealing Christmas.
You know, if you do that shit, that's kind of like stealing Christmas. 9/11 kind of stole Christmas.
Well,
like,
it was in September, yeah.
Yeah, but it's close enough that, like, a lot of the country was still reeling from the attack.
So you're telling me Osama bin Laden stole Christmas?
Yeah,
we gotta get that motherfucker.
And he's very similar because he lived in like a cave, right? Well, no,
and he
not
had
when
like
they
one of
found
those
him.
little dogs.
Did he have dogs?
He had like a dog with the like antlers on the head.
Oh yeah, he did have one of those motherfuckers.
Yeah,
yeah. He really
he
did
used to
steal.
suck off the dog. It was crazy. The video where he's like, "Death to America," then he just sucks off the dog for 10 minutes. They didn't show that part.
Well, his Al-Qaeda, people don't realize Al-Qaeda is really similar to like the Ghetto Boys, where they like introduce this idea of like horrorcore type stuff. You know what I mean?
Every murder is kind of like the Ghetto Boys. Because it's like, what if I made crime horror themed?
I mean, that's what I think. Like, I was watching a documentary about the Zodiac Killer, and I was like, this is just like Bushwick Bill.
Oh, yeah.
This is totally some Bushwick Bill shit.
Yeah, you read about Ed Gein, you're like, holy shit, this is fucking Brother Lynch. This is Brother Lynch hung.
Rest in peace, Bushwick Bill.
Back when I worked in that body shop, I bonded with my coworkers who all used to be in gangs about the fact that we both loved horror. We all loved horrorcore. They would just play. They would just play Brother Lynch and Tech Nine and shit. And they were like, "What? You know Brother Lynch?
Where's he from? Is that Tennessee?
Sacramento.
Oh, creepy. The Tennessee of California.
I feel like Bakersfield's the Tennessee of California.
Bakersfield is kind of more. No, because Bakersfield is a bunch of people escaping the Dust Bowl.
Okay.
So it's more like the Oklahoma of California.
I guess it's a good point.
Because all those people are descendants of the Okies.
Yeah, okay. I feel like Bakersfield's like Southern California, but like by like it kind of earned it. You know what I mean?
Well,
there's kind of a weird like Austin, Houston, Nashville, Southern California pipeline kind of, because they're all country and they're all like kind of huge art hubs.
Oh, so you're saying they have things in common?
Yeah, they're like sister cities kind of.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, all those is every state except California, and even California, because for the most part, California is like a very Republican state. It's just that we have most people in like SF and LA and shit, so we win the vote. But like most everybody else out in the desert is a hardcore Trumper.
Oh, for sure.
But that's also like that's the thing with like every other state where it's like Tennessee has Nashville, Texas has Austin, and like just several other places like that where it's like, don't worry, this is the cool place.
Yeah. Well, even Nashville's like it's very Republican. Very like...
Yeah? Like in the city?
Yeah.
I wonder what being gay in Nashville's like.
Probably cool.
It's probably kind of exciting because it's like not as dangerous as like the 50s, but there's still a little bit of an edge.
Oh, yeah. I remember, where I worked, like, because it was like kind of a ghetto in Nashville. It wasn't even technically Nashville. But I remember you would see, when I first started working there, you'd just see people walking around with shotguns holding it behind them like a baseball bat.
You can do that?
Yeah,
it's like totally fun.
Yeah, it was cool. And then I came towards the end of when I was working there, in that same area, I saw like 2 women holding hands. And I was like, oh, huh. This area's changed.
And you were like, this sucks. Where's the guy with the shotgun?
Yeah, I'm way less scared of that guy.
Right. Because you hate culture.
Yeah, exactly.
And
nothing's more cultural than being in love.
Yeah, than being in gay love is very cultural.
Not even gay love. It's just when I see 2 people in love, I'm like, you better stop doing art right now.
Yeah, romance is art. You're right. But a motherfucker that just has a shotgun over his shoulder, that ain't culture.
The way he was holding it was kind of like artistic.
It was a little culture-y?
Yeah.
What kind was this a white guy?
No. It was a black guy.
Cool. That's cool that like there's still a lot of issues with this country, but it is cool that a black guy can walk around America with a shotgun on his shoulder like a baseball bat.
Oh yeah.
Like
in a black mostly black and Hispanic area.
That's got to mean something.
Yeah.
To somebody.
Yeah. Is that culture?
Yeah, it's American culture, definitely.
Okay.
The freedom
is it
to
pop
do that.
culture?
I don't know if it's pop culture. I mean, it's kind of pop culture, gun violence right now. But honestly,
it's the hip new thing.
But honestly, I don't know. Gun violence is kind of like Post Malone, where it's like, it's kind of just the fans that care about it now.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not like the nation as a whole is, real.
I wonder if there's still like Columbine fans. Because I remember that was a big thing online for a minute, is people that were like obsessed with Columbine. But like, it feels like there's been so many shootings now that it's like...
Dude, if you're still a fan of Columbine, you're such a nerd.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of nerd-ass shit? It's also like, what are you looking up to?
Yeah.
Like, I know the obvious answer is don't be a fan, but just even to think about it more is like, what is even cool about those kids?
They didn't dress cool.
They didn't dress cool. They wore fucking dusters, which look lame as fuck.
They went bowling?
They did?
They went bowling. Like, they were like in a bowling team.
Gay?
Yeah, exactly.
Got no pussy. Did they get pussy?
I think...
They had a group that I think had girls in it, and it kind of looked like, you know how goth kids, did you have like goth or emo groups in your high school?
Yeah.
Do you know that all those kids, they just fuck each other?
Oh, yeah.
They stay in the
Do you think the school shooters just fuck each other?
Definitely. Well, I don't think they were gay, but I think like you see those goth groups and it's like Devin dates Cindy and then Cindy cheats on Devin with, Matthew, and then they start dating, and then it's just like incestuous and they have no other friends, so they're just like, ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh. So maybe they were having that weird kind of goth sex or whatever, but it doesn't sound, I don't know. Those guys are like truly losers.
Oh, school shooters? Or goth kids that have sex.
Specifically Dylan and the other guy that did Columbine.
Oh, Eric Harris. One of them was the ringleader. I don't really remember. I think it was Dylan.
Yeah,
he's the one who was making Doom.
Yeah, that's also like one of the guys. Yeah, like before he was like, I don't want to do this, and he was like, fuck that.
Yeah. People say that, what's his name? One of them had like severe borderline personality, and the other one was like a sociopath who just used that.
Yeah, loser shit.
Oh, actually, yeah. If you have borderline personality, straight up kill yourself.
Straight up.
That's from Dagnabbit boys to you.
Straight up. I mean, work on it, but if it doesn't get better in like a week.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a week tops.
Yeah, if a doctor diagnoses you with borderline personality disorder, take that as a death sentence.
Go out for a run, and if that doesn't work, you're out of options.
Do some push-ups. Do like 6 push-ups.
Do some fucking push-ups.
Yeah.
Seriously.
How many push-ups do you think it takes to like get rid of that?
Probably 30.
30 push-ups?
If you do 30 push-ups, I feel like the borderline personality disorder is kind of like, whoa.
That's like a lot of push-ups.
I ain't got no business being in this bitch.
Yeah.
Because the grind set is too much for the borderline to take over.
Oh, yeah.
Because like borderline doesn't have a grind set. Like it's not focused. It's not like making moves. It's not making connections. You know.
Yeah.
Like here's the problem with borderline personality disorder. If you ask borderline personality disorder $5 million or dinner with Jay-Z,
ooh,
it just takes the $5 million.
Oh,
but it doesn't.
fuck.
But it doesn't know that
because you can like learn a lot from Jay-Z.
It doesn't know that the dinner with Jay-Z is actually worth billions.
I think Jay-Z might have borderline.
You think so?
Yeah, so like that's really how borderline's fucking up because they could learn a lot about how to like manipulate people from that guy.
Jay-Z is a bitch.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of his rapping. His beats are good.
I don't give a fuck about it. I mean, I think it's cool that he like came up with Big Daddy Kane. Not came up, but like was kind of mentored under him.
Yeah,
that's cool. But like,
he was like boys with Biggie.
I guess I don't know. It's just like I'm not really interested in it.
Yeah,
it just seems like rap for like pussies.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's like a good example of like toughness. So they're like, he's tough, and it's like,
just tough enough.
He's like who a bitch would think is tough.
Oh yeah,
in my mind. 50 Cent. I like 50 Cent.
Yeah, me too.
He's cool. He got shot in the face.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Young Buck used to live near my elementary school,
and he kept like,
he was a member of G Unit.
Yeah, I figured that.
He used to keep trying to shoot his wife.
He was bad at it?
Yeah, he would like get in a fight and like threaten to shoot his wife, and then the cops would come, and then it's like, that's it.
And they'd be like, "You're a buster."
Yeah, the cops would come and be like, "Hey, your science isn't that tight."
Jay-Z also got really into like Basquiat for some reason.
Yeah, I don't really know much about Basquiat.
I mean, he was cool. I like his paintings. He died of heroin. That's cool.
It is cool to die of heroin.
Yeah. I mean, he hung out with Andy Warhol, who's kind of a bitch, but whatever.
Andy Warhol had some okay movies, like movies he produced.
Really?
Yeah, there's some movie where it's like people that do like odd jobs, kind of like criminal odd jobs in Queens in the 70s, and basically they just kill babies. There's like a scene where a guy threw a baby out of a window and the baby like explodes. Yeah. It's like pretty funny.
I feel like it's pretty easy to hate Andy Warhol, and I don't hate him. I like visually, I like the stuff, but also like you hear about him and you're like, well, you just kind of had other people do this.
Oh yeah.
So it's just like, I don't know. It's like the same as like Jeff Koons, where it's
like Jim Jones. Jim Jones had other people giving out the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, and like Jeff Koons, the guy that made the big balloon dog, is like, he's the same as Andy, where he just like has a factory, and there's something that bothers me where it's like, well, the idea is cool, but like for you to be an artist, you have to make it. In my mind, it's like you have to craft it with your hands.
That's really crazy that my assistant would say that leaders are bad.
Yeah, I don't think that's the dynamic of the podcast. I think
if a lot of people are saying that, then that is probably the dynamic.
We are fucking up talking about culture, but we're talking about art and how
it's like, I think we've exclusively said negative things about culture.
I mean, I fucking hope so. I've had enough of it.
It has been a lot to me.
Culture is ruining this country.
Oh, absolutely.
Can we just get a second?
It's changed what it means to be an American.
Can we just get a second where I just eat a grilled cheese?
Oh.
And don't listen to music?
Oh, yeah.
I'm listening to world music every day. It's exhausting.
World music?
You know world music?
No.
World music.
I've never heard of music.
World music is just what they call like music that is usually indigenous from around the world. So like
that's what I figured it was.
I feel like it was something in the 90s where people thought if they listened to it, they weren't racist. It's the same thing as like a Cliff Bar where they like thought it was healthy. They were like, I listen to world music. I'm like pretty cool. But it's just like guys in like Nairobi like hitting some drums and shit.
Oh, I've listened to some like South African stuff that's pretty good.
See, that's racist though.
Yeah, because it's like a racist country.
It's interesting that you looked at the entire continent of Africa and you were like, I'll listen to their music.
It was like black people that made the music.
Okay.
It wasn't like, I wasn't listening to like stuff from the people who did apartheid.
A lot of people
That'd be crazy if they did. Isn't that what's wild about like fascism? They never produce like music you're ever listening to.
No. Well, because they only write music about the authority.
Yeah.
Which isn't interesting. Like, all their music is always like Hitler, super cool, like it's just stuff like that. But
yeah,
it's like, yeah, but what was like a Nazi coffee shop like? Like what's the Nazi Tom's diner?
I would bet like a lot of the Nazi shit is probably just like what a lot of the Brooklyn like right-wing people are like now. I feel like it's probably pretty similar.
What do you mean?
Of just like they fuck a lot, but they don't really have anything of value to say. And what they do say, it's like it's like contrarian and like only really helps like improve fascism.
Yeah, I mean, there honestly is. Have you ever like watched a Hitler speech with subtitles?
No.
You can see what he's saying. A lot of what he's saying is just vaguely positive things.
Oh yeah, I mean fascism means nothing.
Yeah, most of his like speeches are just being like, "We're great. We've always been fucking great," and then he like repeats a phrase 4 times, and then everybody's like, but like he doesn't really say anything. And then just after a lot of that, he's like, like he just kind of slips in something. But yeah,
that's what's weird about fascism is it's like it's hard to define, and it's because it's purposely hard to define. Because it's like. It's kind of like a I know it when I see it type of thing.
Yeah, I think it's so stupid it's hard to define. Because it's like, oh, this guy just wants to run the world?
Oh, yeah.
What a stupid thing to want to do.
Oh, yeah.
I can't imagine something I want to do less than have complete and total control of the entire world.
Oh, yeah.
What are you going to do with that?
Turn trees into cotton candy?
It is weird that like people are like, all right, I want to have complete and total control of the world. It's like, what do you want to do? It's like, I want to just kill all these people. And you're like, okay, but like... What about like something? I was gonna say build a new car, but he actually did. So fuck.
Yeah.
Damn it! Is Hitler winning this argument?
That'd be crazy.
I hope not. He's not even alive.
That'd be crazy if it's the first podcast and Hitler's already won the debate.
This motherfucker is, and I want to say that is not us siding with him. That is us. I think we lost.
Yeah, we're fucking dumb as shit.
God damn it! We said we wouldn't talk about history.
That was the thing. We're trying to be different from other podcasts, and we've already talked about Hitler.
I mean, I made the mistake. I read a history book before you came over, so that was a bad idea.
You know what I did before you came over? Before I came over?
You slept. You overslept. You were an hour and a half late to do this.
Yeah.
By the way, just want to say that to all the viewers.
Yeah, I mean, that's what an alpha does.
That's not alpha. You showed up like a little sleepy bitch. You were like, oh, I'm groggy.
Yeah.
I think I need coffee.
I didn't think I need coffee. I was just like, well, I'm probably going to drink all my Diet Coke, so I need to get caffeinated so we can entertain these fucking morons.
Okay, I've needed to piss for like 20 minutes. I'll be back.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to just keep talking, or? I mean, it was kind of mean.
I think what you said wasn't that nice, but I don't know.
Yeah. Thing is, I don't have like a problem with those people. I think there is a general disdain I have for like, there's like, people that grew up kind of privileged, but like, and they're also like good looking, so they just like don't have any like perspective or like skills in anything, you know?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of those people too, are like depressed. And
maybe
so that's kind of where they ascribe their struggle to.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I have that problem. I'm extremely good looking, and I came from a middle class background and got to go to college. I'm so attractive. But no, it's like a guy like...
Well, that's what 16-year-olds think.
I am a lot of things I don't like.
Yeah.
It's like middle-class white, got a stupid degree. The thing that saved me from that is stand-up.
Yeah.
Is that you have a bunch of people around you being like, you're being a fucking loser right now.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I envy other arts because there's nobody telling them, like, you know, you're just being a douchebag right now.
Yeah.
Because, like, I was in college... And I had been doing stand-up for a couple of years, maybe like 3 or 4, and I was in a poetry class.
Yeah.
And a lot of people in the poetry class are actually poetry majors.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, I was getting a creative writing degree, which is like dumb as fuck. But like a poetry degree is like an even dumber idea. And they were so like mean to me because they were so into themselves. Like we broke up into groups. So my group was a young girl from China. And then I had a lesbian who was very like Brooklyn and intense, and then somebody else who was pretty quiet. They were cool.
Oh yeah,
quiet. but I would like read my poems and like I don't know. Like my dad showed me like Bukowski when I was younger, so I wasn't doing that. I wasn't like being gross.
Yeah,
I wasn't just writing about like getting my dick sucked, but I would write very simple poems.
Yeah,
kind of about things that happened. Almost like a joke.
Yeah.
And then kind of be like, take whatever meaning you want from that. Or if you don't, here's a situation that might be
Yeah.
interesting. But they were like, this sucks. Like,
Damn.
Like, they were so mean to me. And they were like the girl from China, I remember she said, because I had a poem with a lot of quotes that I'd heard, and then I just kind of had like a summary of the quotes or whatever. I thought it was interesting. You know, it was like a slice of life kind of thing. And then she was like, you know, blah, blah, blah says if there's more than that many quotes in the poem, it's not your own writing. So this isn't a poem.
Oh.
And then I'd read her shit, and she'd just be like, the sun sets over the Yangtze River. And it's like, yeah, no shit it does.
Yeah, you're just saying obvious stuff.
I mean, it pisses me off. I fucking hate nature poetry. It's so fucking boring. All she would talk about is the Yangtze River.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, what is this?
Can you even drink water out of it?
No!
Then why do you care?
It's just full of
Why
cum.
do you care about that fucking thing if it's full of cum?
I literally want to ask her, like, why do you, like, what is, like, how do you even relate to this?
Do you love cum so much that you're talking about the Yangtze River?
I mean, I guess there's, like, sort of like a nationalist, not in a bad way, but like a nationalist tinge to it where it's like she's expressing her love for the world and maybe of China or whatever, but it's just like, to me, this isn't personal.
Yeah.
You're just, like, talking about, like, and the ghosts of fallen trees whisper to me, and it's like, what? You thinking about trees? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And then when we switched to online, because this was the pandemic, so we switched to all online, so we weren't face-to-face anymore.
Yeah.
That is when she wrote a poem talking about how stand-up comedy is evil.
Oh, wow.
I swear to God. And I think I mentioned I did stand-up once, and she was like, all a comedian does is make fun of Asian people. She literally said that. And I did have a joke in my act where I talked about how she, along with other people in the group, were mean to me.
Yeah.
And I just had a joke where I say that she said, oh, I'm not very good at speaking English. And I say, well, you've already mastered the art of hurting my feelings.
Okay.
And that was all I said. I didn't make fun of her or
yeah.
like her accent or anything. But I wonder if like she like saw a clip or something, because she was like, all comedians do is make fun of Asian people, make fun of servers, I think, and she said spew miasma from their mouths, which you know what miasma is?
It's like
it's like a disgusting gas that you would use to describe somebody's words. Like his words are miasma. They're just gross and awful. And she just said that the entire art of stand-up comedy is deplorable. That there is no stand-up comedy. And they're like, she's like, only men do it, and it's awful.
Damn.
And it was very funny because I responded and I go, you know, it's really hard not to be personally offended by this. And I'm a little confused as to why you wrote it. And I'm going to be honest, I think it has something to do with me. But then I go, here's some comics you might like. Here's Maria Bamford, Jessica Kierson, Eddie Pepitone. These are maybe perspectives, because it sounds like you just watched like Sam Kinison.
Yeah.
And were like, this is all of stand-up comedy.
She watched Dice and was like, "What?"
Literally.
Yeah.
I literally think she watched like The Dice Man Cometh. And was like, so this is stand-up.
Being cool.
Stand-up is all about
Stand-up is
leather.
all just guys being fucking cool as shit.
It's just a bunch of pieces of shit that are awesome in leather jackets. God damn it, I hate it.
All stand-up comedy is hilarious nursery rhymes.
I remember being so disgusted that somebody...
Did you ever see her laugh?
Did I see her laugh?
Ever?
Whew. I don't think so. Maybe some kind of laugh that was like a hater laugh. I don't know. But like her poems sucked dick. They were like poems you read from the 1800s.
Would you say all poems is just a woman being mean to you personally?
Yes. Obviously, that was my take.
Yeah.
After that, I was like, you know what? Fine. Poetry is just women being mean to me.
Yeah.
And they were
You're
like,
in Sylvia Plath like, oh, I know why this woman killed herself. Because of me.
Because of me. She's trying to piss me off.
Yeah.
Little does she know I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. Put yourself in the oven. I don't care.
I remember being so offended that like somebody who considers himself an artist was like, this entire art sucks.
Isn't our whole podcast about how art sucks?
No.
That's what this whole episode's about.
No, it's about how culture sucks. So that's
I guess art is a part of culture.
Art,
yes.
food, fashion,
dancing,
literature, dancing, music. All of that's bad, which is fine to say.
Yeah, it is fine.
If you go big enough, it's okay.
Oh yeah,
it's totally okay. It's honestly a bad thing that we had a background because that adds culture. So I'm sorry about that.
Well, this is just a shower curtain. Is it culture to shower?
Well, how you shower. Is your lock screen really me?
Yeah,
That's
it's been
crazy. When did you didn't even tell me you did this.
I was just seeing how long it take for you to notice.
His lock screen is a pic. I can't see it because the screen's so dirty, but it's a picture of me in a commercial. How long has it been like this?
Like a week?
That's so weird.
I was just seeing how long till anyone noticed.
I mean, I'm not like I know you're doing a bit, but like that's you. So you've been opening your phone to a week and just seeing my face.
Yeah, I was like trying to jack off last night, and then I kept seeing your face, so I stopped.
I mean, I was gonna say it is weird if you're like getting ready to jack off.
Yeah, and then I have
you open your phone and it's me.
Yeah, it's just yeah.
Does that help?
A man I'm not friends with, but we do a podcast together.
Oh,
that's the thing we're establishing.
Okay. So we're establishing that this is purely business.
This is all business, baby.
Yeah.
We're all about the money.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty bad business to... I don't know why you'd get into business with me. I have, like, zero things to offer in terms of, like...
You got some stuff to offer.
Yeah, but I'm saying in terms of... I like to believe...
Well, I like all the 16-year-old girls you bring to the pod.
That is not...
I like that.
That's not something I do.
That's what the fan mail said.
It's not something
That's what the fan mail was said.
No, that fan mail, I think, that was written by you. I don't believe any of that was real fan mail, if I'm being completely honest.
Why would I do that?
Because I think you thought it was funny.
Why would I think it was funny to fucking...
Because you know that I'm a pie-in-the-sky dreamer, and if you said, hey, we got fan mail, I wouldn't question the fact that we haven't released a single episode.
You think that this is a prank?
I think it's a prank. I feel pranked.
Do you feel offended? Do you feel offended?
Yeah, I feel offended and pranked. I feel like I got Ashton Kutchered or something.
Yeah, maybe we should do that for the podcast.
Punk people?
Yeah, dude. We can go over to we can have somebody be like, hey, you want to be a part of our podcast? And then we just straight up punch him in the face. And we record it.
Okay, I was going to say, because what you described, I was like, is there a camera even involved in this, or is this just
I mean, they're going to think it's weird when we bring a camera out in public and I say, do you want to be a part of my podcast? And then they say yes, and then I just sock them, you know?
Is it like me holding the camera, asking the question, then you kind of like come out of nowhere?
Oh, that'd be a good idea.
Like
I'm in like the bushes
attack?
Or something.
Yeah, like a sneak attack. We should just make a video because people just bother people in the malls. We should just step it up a tick and just be like...
Shoplift?
No, like today we're going to punch people in the face in the mall.
Ooh, we could do some Eric Andre
just
shit.
Be like, hey, what's up? Bam!
Yeah.
And just drop motherfuckers.
That's a good idea. Or we could do a video of us mugging somebody.
Okay. Has anybody done that, like just straight up like crime TikTok? Because some people, there are weird...
Oh, there's a video I saw recently of a guy doing... There's like a TikTok or a Twitter video of a guy just running somebody over. Like
really?
they just ran him over and he died.
Did he go to jail?
Yeah.
Good. Well, that's good.
I mean, it's illegal to kill people with your car.
Yeah, just, I don't know.
That's like one of the most illegal shit you can do.
Maybe he got away with it.
They're like, all this evidence that you've provided doesn't add up.
This video that you yourself posted of you driving a car and hitting... Was it a guy on a bike?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, they stole the car, right?
Yeah, they did.
They stole the car,
yeah.
and it was a guy on a bike on a bridge, and they hit him and he died.
Uh-huh.
I remember reading that, and you see so much fucked up shit on the internet that a lot of times you don't care, but that was one where I like looked up articles and was genuinely upset by it.
It is weird. You'll see like a video of a guy getting his pee hole like sliced open, and then you'll be like, whatever, I don't need to hear more about this. Yeah. But then you see a video of like a guy yelling at his daughter and she cries, and you're like, I have to get to the bottom of what's happening here.
Well, because a guy cutting his dick open, that like he likes doing that. So
does he though?
A lot of people do.
I guess.
Enough people do for me to know that people like to do that.
Have you seen that documentary Sick?
But also some guys like to yell at their daughters. And it's tough when somebody...
Are we pro-child abuse?
No, I'm just saying it's tough when somebody likes to do something because it's hard to tell them not to do it because they like doing it.
Well, a lot of people like cheating on their like spouses and stuff.
I don't like that either.
But you don't like that people don't like that. But it's weird because I mean, if we were pro that, then like nobody would do it.
I just hate to tell people to not do something they like doing.
Yeah.
But that becomes a problem when what they like doing is like manslaughter or something.
Yeah, well, that's a lot of what people like to do.
That video is so crazy because they're driving straight and then there's no reason to hit them and they just choose to hit them.
Oh, yeah.
There is something about, I mean, that honestly does give credence to our generation being so stupid.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like, even a millennial would just steal the car and keep driving. This guy's like, hey, we just stole a car, let's commit a murder.
I remember thinking I would drive past the strike a lot of times. and I was thinking about how funny it'd be to just ram my car into all those people. Just because it's like, I'm not against the strike.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I would just be doing it
It's also
to be
not
bad.
it's not like necessarily like a life or death issue.
Yeah.
So it's just like, wow, this guy really hates writers.
Well, no, I mean, it's just like, that's like the ultimate mass murder where you don't have any stock in why you're doing it. You have no political opinions.
But then you look like a dumbass in court. Where they're like, why'd you do that? And you're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm bored.
Yeah. I thought it'd be funny.
I think it'd be funny. You don't hit anybody, but you take your car and you drive 3 miles per hour and you just slowly just like get on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And then just park your car and you get out and everybody's like, what are you doing? You tried to kill us. And you're like, I'm just going to the Chick-fil-A. And you just keep it cool, you know?
Yeah.
And you're like, don't trip. And
Yeah.
you just get out and then you just like walk and you get some food and you get back in your car and leave. And then you're in court and you're like, I
remember how those writers were protesting outside of Chick-fil-A's.
Yeah, they hated it.
Yeah.
Are people still mad about Chick-fil-A? Are there still people that like boycott Chick-fil-A? Probably.
I think so, yeah, yeah. I mean, I think they're still doing the stuff they were doing, and they just probably don't make it public.
Right? It's just not a story anymore.
Yeah.
It would be crazy if, like, right now in the midst of, like, Israel-Palestine and everything, if somebody was like, and Chick-fil-A's still homophobic.
Yeah.
And people are like, all right. I mean, yeah, but, like, I don't know. I remember
their chicken biscuits are good.
I remember I wouldn't eat Chick-fil-A because I'd never actually eaten it, so it's pretty easy to boycott.
And yeah, people loved Chick-fil-A when I grew up.
I love it now. I eat it all the time.
Yeah.
But I remember
that was like a big, people would hang out at the Chick-fil-A.
Well, it's nice in there.
Yeah, it is.
Very nice in there. They keep it very clean.
A lot of kids to snatch.
No, I'm not into that. But I remember I remember the first time I went to Chick-fil-A, went with my friend Dylan. He's gay. And he was like, I was like, damn, you eat at Chick-fil-A? And he was like, yeah, I used to work here and everybody was really nice to me. And that's all I needed.
Oh,
I
okay.
just started eating Chick-fil-A.
I mean, they always seem nice when you go in there.
They're so nice. I remember one time I pulled up. Chick-fil-A's crazy because they have guys, for no reason, take your order outside.
Yeah.
I remember I pulled up, and there were 3 guys my age, all standing in a line. I pulled up, and they didn't say anything to me for like 10 seconds. I pulled up in front of them, and they were like, and then they were like, can you pull up a little?
Yeah.
And I pulled up 4 feet, and they were like, that's good.
It's so weird to go up to a restaurant and they're socially anxious.
I just also at that same Chick-fil-A, I pulled in, there's a car in front of me, the guy was taking the order, and then he walked away, and then he walked back to the car and said, what'd you say? And he was talking to a girl, and then he talked to her, and then he came over and he took my order, and after he was done taking my order, I go, did you just get that girl's number? And he goes, yeah. And I was like, damn. He was like fully on work. Like he very obviously works at a fucking Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
And this girl was like, you're cute. And he was like, yeah, she said I was cute. I had to. And I was like, damn. And I was like, that's fucking sick.
Yeah.
And he was like, thanks, dog. It was a really good dude moment. I was like, that's awesome. You're going to have a great life. Or probably a pretty shitty one.
Oh, yeah. Like, he was probably like 16, you know?
Well, like, that kind of guy is either going to be, like, a millionaire, or he's just going to spend his life just fucking, like, trash pussy.
Yeah.
And being fine with working at Chick-fil-A.
Well, he probably will move up to, like, a sales position, honestly.
It's just honestly pretty bad, though, because if you can get pussy in Chick-fil-A, you're not going to leave Chick-fil-A.
Oh, you think this guy is, like, going to be, like, 40 with kids still working at Chick-fil-A?
Yeah, because I think he's going to fuck that girl and get her pregnant.
Do you think that's what happens every time someone has sex?
Yes.
Yeah. Every time I've had sex, she's gotten pregnant.
Yeah. You have a lot of kids.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't pay my child support. I don't understand why I have to.
Because you don't take care of them.
Yeah, I don't see them. I don't love them.
Yeah, that's why you have to pay. If you just lived with them, you wouldn't have to pay any money. I mean, you'd have to spend money.
Should I invite them to my apartment? They could just chill with Joseph?
Yes. Joseph's like a kid.
Kind of. I think they'd get along.
Joseph's kind of like a baby. Because he's like kind of quiet, but sometimes he'll like smile to himself at something somebody else is doing.
They have no clue who Joseph is. Let's establish this.
That motherfucker seems ticklish as hell.
Oh, absolutely.
He is? You tickle him?
Yeah. No, but he seems ticklish.
He seems so ticklish. I'm going to tickle Joseph the next time I see him. No, they don't know who he is. We're building the
We're building
verse.
the universe.
The universe.
I was up late last night not writing the fan mail that besmirched you.
When did you write that?
I wrote it like an hour before bedtime.
Okay. Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. I mean,
we're going to have more segments like that coming up probably.
Yeah, I would like some new topics in the fan mail. I think the topics you covered, we can kind of put those to rest.
Well, we're going to start getting real fan mail. The point was just to clip it, and it was to clip the fan mail and to make it look like we have fans. And that's how we're going to do this.
That's how we're going to
We're going to like swindle people into being fans of this podcast.
And we're able to say it at this point in the podcast because people have probably stopped listening.
No, everyone's listening at this point.
This is when you think this is like the full viewership?
I think people usually skip to around the hour point and see what we're talking about.
I think it would honestly, because if you like from posting my podcast, like if I'm being honest, those episodes are like an hour. People get like at most 15 minutes in. Most people drop off at 15.
Well, I think
it would scare me.
We did have some pretty good riffs up top, so maybe we'll get like 20, 25 minutes in.
That's huge.
Yeah, I mean, for a new podcast, yeah.
It would scare me to death if I looked at the analytics and they were like, everybody who listened to the whole episode.
Oh, well, we have friends that are probably going to listen to it.
No,
I mean,
your friends don't listen to the whole thing.
There was somebody that told me they listened to the Cooper Lyden is Alone podcast with me on it. They said they listened to the whole thing, and I was like, oh, that's what's up.
But they didn't return to listen to me solo.
No, I mean, I think you scared them away.
Yeah.
I think with your, like, hebophilia and stuff, I feel like a lot of that.
Nope, I don't have that.
Well, that's what the fan mail said earlier.
Nope. No, that's not something I do.
I mean, I'm not saying that that's what you do, but,
I
like...
engage with women who are of age, if not older.
And men.
And men.
That's something we should establish, because we said some stuff that maybe they should know that this is a minority-run podcast.
Okay, so I do run the podcast.
No. I'm saying that you're gay.
Bisexual.
I'm Italian.
How Italian are you?
Not that Italian, but enough to get away with stuff.
I just feel like when a family moves to the South, whatever you came over with just goes away.
Well, Tennessee has a lot.
Except Louisiana.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
motherfuckers stayed French.
Oh, yeah.
And they're fighting to stay French. And they're like being overcome by like a possession of the South.
Isn't it weird how like all the major cities wish they were Paris, like in America?
Is that a thing? You think so?
I think so. I think if you hang out with like the art people in New York and LA, then they're like, I wish this was Paris. I love cheating on my girlfriend.
No, there's a lot of places that people like sitting at. I mean, I do like a sidewalk cafe, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Paris?
No. I've been to parts of France, but not Paris.
Oh, okay. Somebody was telling me they had family in Paris. It wasn't you then.
You.
Yeah, that is kind of gross.
What kind of motherfucker has family in Paris?
French people?
Fuck that shit. I don't think I have any French in my blood.
I think my mom did a 23andMe. I think there's a lot of like Irish in there. Irish and Italian.
And the other was just like what, like scoundrel? Rascal?
It was like Sucker MC.
Sucker MC. You're like 25% Buster.
I got bitch in my blood.
I got bitch in my blood.
Yeah, my 23andMe said 80% bitch, 20% Scotch Irish.
I'm going to start like an ancestry, like an ethnicity service, but then you get it back and it just says 100% bitch made every time. And like sometimes people do that and they like reveal it at a family reunion.
Yeah.
I think it would be really good if it's just like an old man named Walter. He's like, we're going to find out how Irish you are. And then it pulls it out and it just says like cunts. It's just like stupid bitches.
Which means you're very Irish, because Irish people love the C word.
Do they?
I think so.
Australians and I think British people do. I don't know if Irish people do, actually.
Well, Irish is just a genre of British.
Fucking cunt. Yeah, they say it.
Yeah.
They like it. They actually kind of say it the best.
Yeah. Did I tell the story on the Cooper Lyden is Alone about how I loaned my sister a copy of Trainspotting and she fucking smoked heroin off of it?
I think you actually did.
Oh.
Wait, how did she... Wait, you mean she burned the disc?
Yeah.
To burn the heroin?
Yeah.
Aren't you just getting tons of plastic while you do that?
I think it was a bit.
Oh.
I think she wanted to do it off of a book about how drugs are bad. Because it's like...
Oh, a book.
Yeah. Not the fucking DVD.
I thought you gave her a DVD.
Yeah, no.
So how do you do heroin off a book?
I don't really fully know.
Like you put
I just know there was burn marks all over it. And she's like, yeah, I did heroin off the book.
That's so not cool. That's like stoners like smoking weed with a Bible paper or something.
Yeah, but when you're 15 and doing heroin, it's like, yeah, you're gonna do the equivalent of like being an atheist, but for heroin.
My brother was always really bad at hiding drug paraphernalia. I would find it by accident.
Oh yeah,
I was always the one finding his shit.
Yeah,
I would go into his room to like get something I knew he had to like play with or whatever, and then I would just be like, "Oh, what kind of pipe is this?"
Yeah,
and then I'd show
it's a needle. You're like, "What sort of pipe is this needle?"
And then you show it to your dad, and he's like, "Fuck!" You know, he's just like pissed off.
Yeah,
like, damn.
What sort of pipe is this? It's tinfoil.
I mean, it's like if I'm finding it, you're really bad at. My family's like pretty bad at substances. We're all really bad at it.
I remember
we love it, but we're just not good at it.
I remember after my sister quit, she flushed the drugs down the toilet, and which I was sleeping on the couch at the time because we didn't have beds, and she flushed it in the toilet when I was sleeping on the couch, and I went to go and pee in the toilet, and there's still just fucking like white shit in the toilet. It just hadn't flushed because our pipes were so bad.
And you just thought that's what girls did in the bathroom.
Yeah, their pee is white.
Yeah. Girls are so stupid, they don't even have liquid pee.
Yeah, they got dry. They just got, what's she drinking, powdered water?
So that's like your conception of girls.
Yeah.
It's like, girls suck, dude. They just piss out this powder that if you scoop from the toilet makes you feel sick.
It just makes you all sleepy and feel good for once.
Obviously, I fucking scooped it out. I was curious.
Yeah, I scooped it out, burned it up, and shot it, dude.
Do you think any of your several dogs ever like licked a bit of heroin?
Probably not. I do know out here, like they have to have Narcan at the vet because so many dogs like fucking will like get into fentanyl on the ground.
Dogs are such little scamps.
And this was in Silver Lake.
Are people doing fent in Silver Lake?
I guess. Well, if you drive, my roommate said he was running under a bridge in Silver Lake where there's a bunch of homeless people, and he looked in the tents and they were just letting rats crawl all over themselves. Really? Which is what my grandfather thinks is happening in LA.
Yeah, I don't like when I see that because it's like, boys, you're making it look worse.
Yeah.
Stop. Like, I get that you're homeless, but don't like do homeless activity. Like,
yeah,
go make your money however you do, but like, don't spend your off time letting rats crawl on you. It's putting a bad face on the city.
Yeah, I saw a homeless guy today. He was in a wheelchair, but he wasn't rolling. He was just using his legs to move the wheelchair.
Yeah, they do that. They do that all the time. I was fucking outside of Mike last night, and a homeless guy did the most annoying fucking thing. And I'm a piece of shit for thinking homeless people are annoying, but they are purposefully many times. This motherfucker walked by us and just screamed.
Yeah.
To scare us.
Yeah.
There's a thing where there's a certain amount of... There's a lot of homeless people that remind me of, like, these kids that do clown in L.A.
Yeah.
That are, like, the sons of, like, millionaires, where they're like, aren't I crazy? Where even homeless people in LA do that. We're like, aren't I crazy to just yell in your face?
Yeah.
And it's just like, dude, no.
Homeless people in LA are like trying to have a contest to see who can be the most homeless.
Yeah, it's like, aren't I so random?
Yeah.
It's like, no, you're just homeless, dude. There's like 100,000 of you here.
Isn't it crazy though? Like, I went to San Francisco and walked through like the worst parts of it, and no one bothered me. But if you walk in like a regular area out here, guys will get in your face and be like, "Where's my daughter?"
Yeah, they're pissed off. I remember one time I was driving and I had my window down and I was smoking a cigarette, and a homeless guy on the side of the street yelled, he goes, "Fuck is you smoking for, bitch?" Which is really funny because his point was like, you don't have a reason to smoke. I got a reason to smoke. I'm homeless.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's pretty funny. That's like a pretty good bit.
I remember when I first got out here, I went to the library in downtown and I had to use the bathroom, and I just heard a guy just vigorously jerking off in the bathroom, like a homeless guy.
I feel like that was like one of our first conversations. I feel like I remember hearing this a while ago.
Yeah. Well, I just remember thinking, like, because it smelled really bad, and I was like, does jerking off smell bad?
I think you're kicking up a lot of odor because it's kind of like the first day of rain in LA is very dangerous because it doesn't rain here enough, so oils collect on the road in the dry season, and then when it gets rainy, all those oils get lifted, and it's very slick.
Yeah.
So I think that jerking off as a homeless man is a similar thing, where once you spit on your hand, you start emitting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Also, like homeless guys, like when you're on meth, you like want stuff in your ass. And I don't know if you've had this experience, but whenever something goes in your ass starts smelling really bad. Or you'll like pull something out and then it smells horrible.
I haven't personally had that experience, but I definitely believe that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're opening a hole that's full of shit.
Oh, yeah.
You're pushing something into a hole that is filled with shit. I mean, it's not supposed to be, but there's still some shit in there.
Oh, yeah.
It is sick that homeless guys love libraries.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it makes sense because they can hang out there, but it's like very funny that it's like they're like addicted to meth and like chilling by a bunch of biographies.
Yeah.
They don't read for shit, though.
I think some homeless people probably read. I wonder if it's like prison shit where you'll talk to like a guy who's in prison and he's like, yeah, I read everything. And it turns out he's read way more than you have.
Yeah, but also guys in prison, like, they do have jobs, but they don't have a lot to do.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of it's just like you're in your cell and then you get to leave to go do your job, and then you come back, you have nothing to do. So you're just filling time. Homeless guys have stuff to do all the time.
Well, yeah, they gotta like fight other homeless guys.
They gotta
for,
fight guys.
Yeah.
They gotta find food. They gotta find bikes to steal for money.
Oh, yeah.
They're some of the busiest people in the world.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I don't like when like these...
They're kind of nomads.
There's like all these...
They are nomads.
There's all these dudes that like look like me that move out here to become homeless. It's like a thing in LA.
Yeah.
There's like crust punks and shit, and they like drag a dog into it, and it's just like, fucking, you have a house.
Yeah.
Like that's how far like America's gotten, where there's just dudes like me that are like, I don't want to be middle class, and then they just come out here and just bother the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey man,
isn't it funny that like you start off pretending to be homeless when you're a guy like that, and then you're just the guy that yells at people?
Well, yeah, then you just become. It's just like, do you want to do this when you're 60?
Yeah,
because you're young, so you're like choosing a career path.
Well, your brain's probably rotted by meth. Probably at a certain point. I know the meth out here is like very pure, so it like puts a hole. It like makes bigger holes in your brain. So when you quit, it's like you still have psychosis.
Definitely. Meth psychosis. What a concept. We should do that.
Would you want to get a guy with a hole in his brain on the podcast and we just like drill into his skull?
Yes. I want to do surgery on the podcast. Let's
learn how to do surgery, like basic surgery. We should get a book about it.
Just basic stuff.
Yeah.
Just like
heart transplants and stuff.
Yeah, just a couple of stitches.
Yeah.
That would be a good segment.
Oh, a good segment would be if we learn how to do rocket science.
Surgery.
And surgery.
Okay. I mean, this could go down a bad road, but I don't know. I think we should just have a homeless guy on and just be like, what do you think of pop culture?
Yeah. Well, I think he'd probably think about the same thing we do.
Yeah, I honestly think if we had a homeless guy on the podcast, we wouldn't have that dissimilar opinions about things.
Yeah.
We also kind of think everything sucks.
Oh, yeah.
But then you get one of those homeless guys that's like, life is beautiful. And we're like, God damn it.
Can I get a hug?
This motherfucker loves life.
I hate when the guys are trying to give you a hug and then you have to be like, nah. And it's like, no, I wish I could give you a hug. I'm just like, it's just gross.
Well, I just don't want to hug any stranger. Even if a man who wasn't homeless walks up to me on the street and was like, do you want to hug me? I'd be like, fuck off.
Yeah,
I'd be way ruder to him than I would a homeless guy.
Oh, well, that guy has something up his sleeve.
Yeah.
A homeless guy just wants to be held.
There is this thing that I really hate. I think old white people did this, where they want homeless people to have explanations.
Yeah.
Where they always come up and they like want to shake your hand and they're like, I was a U.S. Army veteran. I came back. I had a wife and kids. She cheated on me. She took the house. Now I'm homeless. And they want to like tell you this whole thing.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I can tell you need money.
Yeah.
Like I have a pretty good sense for the fact that you have no money. I don't care what you did, but I think it's like old white people that are like, well, I'm not just going to give you money. It's like, why not?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have the money. And they're like, well, what if he buys crack? It's like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he can't spend it all on crack. And if he does, that's like one less homeless guy you got to give money to. Like, what are you mad about? I don't understand it. It's also like, there's this thing where like people like young dudes will come by and be like, we're raising money for our football team.
Yeah.
And it's just like, dude, the very fact that you are selling loose candy on the street shows me that you need money. You don't need to tell me about a fake football team.
Yeah.
You're like short and skinny. You're not on the football team. Like, what are you talking about? I'll just give you money. You're trying to sell me a box of candy from fucking Rite Aid.
Why are homeless people, their biggest like story is always like, my baby's in the hospital.
Really?
Yeah, like I remember in Nashville all the time, every homeless person was like, I need bus fare to get to Memphis because my child's in the hospital. Like I heard that story probably like 5 or 6 times.
But it's also, you almost just want to be like, yeah, don't you need money for every single other thing?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to be sad.
What are you going to do when you get to Memphis? You know? Like, you're just going to be homeless there, too?
Yeah, what are you going to do? You're going to be a homeless guy that walks into a hospital and go, there's a kid here, I want to see him. And they're gonna be like, well, yeah, sure, you're the father.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're covered in dirt.
Yeah, get in there.
Yeah, yeah.
Go, you're covered in...
You know what? We're going to leave you alone with the kid.
Yeah,
so you guys can have a moment.
You got bugs on you. Go talk to a kid.
Your pee hole is out, but the rest of your penis is not.
Somehow only your hole is out.
We don't even know if this is illegal.
Is this illegal? Just the hole?
Yeah, just where the pee comes out?
They're like calling 911, but they're kind of like chill. They're like, his pee hole's out. And then operator's like, And they're like, I know, right?
Yeah.
Kind of a quizzical, sort of a quandary. What do we do about this? Who's to say? But that is culture.
Yeah, this is America.
Our effort to not talk about culture is...
It was fucked up. I mean...
It's impossible to do a podcast that doesn't talk about culture.
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing is, you're just trying to fill air, you know?
There's simply no way. There's too much culture.
It really is. It's invading our country.
No, I'm talking about homegrown culture.
Homegrown culture?
There's so much bluegrass.
Yeah.
I don't have time to listen to all this bluegrass.
That's what sucks when you start getting into a genre of music and you're just like, I have to listen to the history of this to be a fan?
Come on. I'm not doing this shit.
It's like work. It's work to get into stuff.
Man, I fucking hate comedians that had other careers that were interesting because it's all they talk about. There's some fucking... I saw this one fucking person talk about how they used to sing opera. And they were like, I'm trying to make opera cool again. And it's like... Like, what else are you going to make cool again? Like, wheelless sleds? What are you talking about?
Yeah. I'm going to make fire cool again. Rubbing 2 rocks together.
There's nothing I hate more than just somebody that's like, I left my engineering job to be a comedian. It's like, okay, so you wasted your parents' money and half of your life before you realized you want to do a stupid, pointless art form?
Well, they did the engineering for forever, and then they were like, well, this doesn't make me happy. Maybe going up in front of a bunch of strangers and not being funny will make me happy.
I don't know why people think those people are admirable. It's like, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
I chose this stupid career when I was 17. You had to go to college to figure it out?
We had a comic in Nashville. He was trying to quit being a firefighter by getting into comedy.
That's
and it's
crazy.
like, just save people.
Save people.
Yeah, you're not doing anything by doing this.
You know, it just wasn't, you know how much of a piece of shit you have to be like, it just wasn't fulfilling fighting fires.
To save babies from fucking the top story of a building on fire.
I think if you're a firefighter and you're not fulfilled, you should fucking kill yourself.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
How is that not enough?
I mean, you're going to get cancer anyway, probably, from doing it.
I mean, you're just, like, completely self-centered. It's obviously just like, this really isn't about me enough.
Yeah.
I think it should be only me. I don't like that. People take too long to realize they're pieces of shit.
Oh, are we pieces of shit?
Well, I mean, we're doing something that contributes, like, nothing. And it's, like, completely self-serving. I mean, there is a mutual exchange where hopefully people enjoy this and people enjoy our stand-up. But, like, we wouldn't do it if we didn't like it.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? So it's like, which I guess is always true. Like, even an activist, like, even though that's not fun, they still do it because it gives them something. So it's not like there's really nothing you can do that's not like a little bit for yourself. You kind of have to do that. But like, I'm just saying, like, I don't know, like, I started doing this when I was 17, and I was like, yeah, this is like stupid, but I just really enjoy it. But like, I'm not going to be a person that helps the world because I'm choosing this path of life.
Oh, yeah.
Whether I'm successful or not, I could be the most successful comic in the world. I'm not helping anybody by doing this.
Well, sometimes I think about, like, I could help my family, probably.
Yeah.
But then it's like, am I actually going to do that? Probably not, because you probably don't make that much money. Like, I can't help.
Yeah, that's also the thing where you're like, I want to buy my family a house. It's like, so you need to have $500,000.
You have to be the most famous comedian ever, and why would you be that? Why do you think you would be that?
Yeah, you have to be like the very best at this thing.
Yeah.
But most of the time, even like a super successful career is like, you're just paying bills.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's only like 6 comics that are like really rolling in it.
Yeah, and they don't even do the style of comedy that I do. There's no comedian that big that does the style of comedy that I do, which is short jokes that aren't even that good, and they're about sex.
I think they're good. I think they're gross.
Yeah.
But I think that's okay. I mean, honestly, the closest to you is almost like Andrew Dice Clay.
Yeah.
Because you don't do it the same, but it's like they are short jokes and they're about like pussy.
Yeah.
So
pussy is funny.
But honestly, though, he was one of the biggest comedians in the world. I don't really see why what you do actually couldn't be big.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because you're thinking that it's like what you're doing is like too dumb or gross or whatever. But that's the thing, is like that's like the easiest sell.
Yeah,
it's hard to sell big stuff.
But when you actually accomplish it, then that's the highest tier stand up.
Yes, but
that's like those 4 guys that are all good.
But it's like what? You get like Lenny Bruce, who he wasn't like, he would do the Palladium or whatever. But you know what I mean? So it's like, okay, you have like Carlin, Louis, Chappelle will do that.
Chris Rock.
Chris Rock will do that. And
Bill Burr.
Yeah, Burr does that. He'll do but even Burr, his commentary is kind of more like people.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of more like the way people act. It's not necessarily like the government.
Yeah.
You know, like he'll talk about it in his podcast, but his stand-up is not like, you know, you're being lied to, you know, like he doesn't really do a lot of that. I guess he is in that category, but I think he's a really personal comic more than he is like observation.
Well, you have to kind of be able to do both, you know. Richard Pryor was very personal, also very philosophical and political.
Well, that's the thing, is I was going to say Richard Pryor because he's like my favorite.
Yeah.
But he also was never marketed himself, nor was he ever just really marketed as like this is the guy that takes everything on. He talked about the world through talking about himself.
Yeah.
Kind of. Which that's why I think he's the best, because he wasn't like what annoys me about like some comics is like they really shove it in your face that they're saying something important.
Yeah.
And Pryor was amazing because he just never did that. He was just saying things that were really good and important and insightful.
Yeah.
But he was just having a good time.
And he was also talking about like boogers and shit.
Yeah, but now every comic that's insightful is like, did you see what I just did there?
Yeah.
And it's like, what are you, 5 years old? You're getting paid $20 million. Do you need me to be like, and you're smart?
Yeah.
You're not smart.
Yes.
You're an asshole. And that's fine. I don't see why you need to be smart.
I just realized that because I was kind of thinking maybe this will be different from other comedian podcasts, but then it's like you get 2 comedians talking and it's like
it's exactly the same.
It's always the same.
The only difference is our rapport.
Oh,
that's
absolutely.
That's the only hope that this would be successful at all.
Oh, yeah. That people will look at us and be like, these 2 guys are interesting. I mean, one talks a lot and the other one is an asshole.
We've checked all the boxes of what we hoped this podcast wouldn't be.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think we did accents at one point.
No, we didn't do accents. Well, we did white accents.
Oh, yeah. We did. So, I mean, I think we've accomplished the main goal, which is no slurs and no accents.
Sure.
That's our tagline for the podcast.
Yeah.
It's like no gods, no masters.
The gods and masters of the world are slurs and accents now.
That's what it is, especially in comedy podcasting.
Think about that.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people like to be edgelords. I would just like this. What if this podcast we were tolerance lords?
Ooh.
What if we tried to push
What about instead of edgelords, we're gross lords?
I mean, that's what you're good at.
Yeah.
That's why I think you're likable on stage, because you're not actually, there's no moral issues with what you say.
Yeah.
It's just yucky.
Yeah, it makes people go like, ew.
Yeah, but that kind of makes you like a little stinker, which is likable.
Yeah, Bugs Bunny would be like what I was like on stage.
Like, it would be funny if you got really famous and people were to get mad at you, because they would literally just be getting mad at you for being like, he's gross.
Yeah.
Which is not bad.
It's not, yeah, it's not bad to be like pussy juice.
Yeah. People
are just mad at pussy juice.
You just talk about like every fluid.
Yeah.
And people would just be like, ugh.
I tried to write a joke yesterday about how, like, when you're fingering, you ever have to finger someone's ass so long that a shit forms around your finger? That was all I got.
Have you felt that?
No, but it seemed ridiculous.
Well, it seems crazy. It's funny to finger somebody's ass for so long.
Sometimes you have to.
You have to? To make them come?
Yeah, I think so.
That's interesting.
Well, it takes a while. I basically never come while fucking.
I just feel... Okay, I want to talk about that, but I just feel like if you're fingering somebody's ass for over 10 minutes, you're just preparing to fuck them in the ass.
You think so? I had a girl I dated who used to always wear a butt plug and shit, and she was always like, yeah, I'm preparing my asshole to get fucked by a dick, but she had never been fucked by a dick in the ass.
You don't need as much preparation as people want to say you do.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean,
kind of like comedy. It's like, you just got to start.
Yeah.
Don't think.
Just let it up your ass.
Yeah. It's like Del Close. Like, just don't think.
Yeah.
Just make it happen.
Oh, exactly.
But be patient. Anal is a lot like improv, where it's like, don't just try and reach the end immediately. Go with it. Go slow. Take your time, and good things will happen.
Have you ever been pegged?
No.
Never? I can't really... Yeah, it wouldn't really... I couldn't see the point if you're, like, already, like, bisexual.
I don't...
You got to get a pro in if you're going to get, like, fucked in the ass.
I don't know if I would love pegging, because here's the thing, is like when two guys fuck, it's really just two people meeting on equal ground having a good time.
Yeah.
It's just the boys. But if a girl's fucking you, I think there's always a twinge of like, and this is for the witches they burned. You know,
Yeah.
It's like there's a spite in all women that want to peg. You know? It's
Which is
like,
all women.
Like you're
every woman just wants to get up your asshole.
You're sitting there getting fucked, and you're just like, I think there's more behind this than
You're getting
fucking.
fucked, and you're like, what did my dad do to you?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah,
Like-
it's like they're trying to kind of like take down the patriarchy through your butthole.
Yeah.
But then meanwhile, it's just a classic thing where you're like, she doesn't know. This is just gravy for me.
Yeah. She doesn't know my legs are shaking.
Yeah, tricked her ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. You thought that you were getting up on me.
It's kind of like how sometimes they trick women into being strippers by saying it's feminist, and then it's like, well, no, you're like sucking off murderers for $30.
Yeah, it's like, you think you're beating me? You don't know how good this feels in my butt.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
you're like, you're a bitch. And it's like, I don't know, you're doing all the work. And
Yeah.
you don't even have to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Have you been to strip clubs out here?
No. I've never been to a strip club.
Never?
No.
We got to go just for the podcast.
I've gone to a burlesque bar.
That's
There's just a
for
place,
nerds.
There's just this place, Jumbo's Clown Room, that's like fun. It's like punk or whatever.
Yeah, we used to go to this strip club in Nashville. It's since been shut down because Nashville sucks now.
I just don't want to spend that kind of money.
Well, I had rich friends, so they would just like pay for everything.
Yes, that's great, but it's like I never had I don't want. It's like it's just so much money to spend to even be there.
Yeah,
Like if you spend $200, it feels almost like the minimum. You know what I mean? Like if you spend $200 at a strip club, it's like you're just another guy at the strip club.
yeah,
You know, and like I don't know. It just feels the same to me as playing poker with my friends. Where I'm just there and I'm like, why am I paying for, like this can happen for free.
yeah.
Like we're just hanging out. I could just fuck a girl.
Well, the
I
thing
don't
with the
need
strip
to, like,
club,
go
you're
to a
not
strip club.
there to get like turned on. You're there because you're like it's seedy. You're there because you feel gross and you want to be around like members of outlaw motorcycle gangs. Like I remember I went to
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think it is. I went to a
Okay.
strip club in Panama City with my buddy, and the first thing we noticed was just a big biker guy, and we were like, hell yeah. Where it's like, oh, we're doing the same shit this guy is doing.
Okay, so it's kind of like wearing a leather jacket because you like the fawns.
Oh, basically, it's like you're a poser, essentially.
Yeah, you're just a poser in strip clubs. You're just a
yeah.
mark-ass buster,
Oh, basically.
acting like you're real,
Yeah,
acting like you can hang with the Mongols.
basically. Yeah, I remember that strip club was fun. I remember I dropped a cigar on the ground because my buddy smoked cigars all the time. So, and I guess you could just smoke in there. Which is,
I like that.
yeah.
I like places I can smoke inside. I enjoy that. Honestly, if I found a strip club where I could smoke inside, I would probably just go there and hang out and just be like, miss me with that. I'm smoking cigs.
Yeah.
And I'd have a shirt that says cigs over girls.
Ooh.
You know?
Girls stink. Cigarettes don't.
Yes. Cigarettes are good. Girls kill you, not cigarettes.
Yeah, girls give you cancer.
They'd be like, you want a lap dance? I'd be like, get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah. But
God.
basically a woman was sitting on my lap and I dropped the cigar and I was like, well, that's over. And she's like, are you not going to pick that up and smoke it? It's like, no.
Yeah, it's a strip club floor.
Yeah, you guys have earned this cigar.
Did she smoke it?
No. She kept drinking my drink though.
Yeah, of course.
And it's like, this is gross. I don't want to like kiss you.
Well, that's also the thing about, that's kind of why I don't like the strip club, because there's all these, from what I've heard, is like there's just all these little things where you're losing money.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like some girl's like rubbing her ass on your chest and you're like, this is cool, but then she's like chugging your beer.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck? It's the same as like there's a big thing with like jam bands of like these fairy girls that like they just sort of like they kind of enchant people and then just take their drug. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the same thing where it's just like, I don't know. I don't like feeling like a mark-ass buster.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like the minute you walk into a strip club, you're just a mark-ass buster.
As exactly. They mark you immediately.
Yeah, you're just a mark.
My fucking last time I went to a strip club with my roommate, we walk in, a woman immediately waves at him and it just gets him.
Yeah,
he's in there for 3 seconds and he's already been marked.
Dude, exactly.
It's
fucking ridiculous.
No one came up to me. They knew I had no money.
You kind of do look like a guy who understands the cons of a strip club.
Oh yeah,
You're
if
like,
no
I'm
one's
not going
paying
to that
for
back room. I'm not going there. I don't know. Just like you go to a strip club, you see a hot girl, and then you're like, I want to fuck that girl, and they're like, well, you can pay $500, and you're like, I don't want to do it that way.
Yeah,
I like to feel good about myself.
You know how many hours of work that is?
And then people are like, what are you, an idiot? You think you can fuck her? And you're like, no, I know I can't. And so I don't want to go.
Some guy was bragging to me about like he fucked a stripper just because she liked him, but it's like, this didn't happen. Why are you lying to me about this?
How well did you know this guy?
He lived in my house for a month.
Okay.
He was like, yeah, I went to that strip club the next night, and a stripper, I was waiting, I had $200, and I was waiting for the right stripper, and then she gave me a 3-hour lap dance for free, and it's like, none of this happened. Why are you lying? I don't think any of this is cool.
Dude, a 3-hour lap dance sounds awful.
Yeah.
I don't even like watching a movie with different scenes for 3 hours. Can you just the same ass?
Yeah.
By 20 minutes in, I'm like, all right, I mean, that's your ass.
Yeah.
Those are your tits.
Oh, I remember one time when I was at that Panama City strip club, this woman was rubbing her ass on my dick, and then she got a text from her boyfriend, and she was like, oh, like she made like a noise sound while she's rubbing her ass on my cock. It's like, bitch, you got a boyfriend?
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure a lot of strippers have boyfriends.
Well, of course they do.
Yeah. Those guys are always weird.
Yeah, there was a guy that did comedy in Nashville who was dating a stripper, and everybody knew like he was just giving her drugs all the time.
Yeah, that's the thing, is I'm not saying they're weird for dating a stripper. I think that's fine. It's the way they act about it is always like they protest too much.
Well, yeah,
I don't care.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, okay.
Like,
I'd care.
It's like being poly, but like it's like, but I'm cool.
It's like being poly, except it's just her making guys horny all night, and then you being at home being like, but I get to take her home, but she comes home to me.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, those guys have nothing going on in their life, so they're like, I'm the guy that the hot girl comes home to. And it's like, for now,
yeah,
until you stop selling Percocet.
Oh, yeah.
Then that doesn't happen in your life.
And you think other guys aren't giving her fucking heroin to suck them off?
Totally.
Yeah. That's like a fucking... I knew a guy, I didn't know him well, but I met him like once, who was around because of family, and he used to just have a harem of women that he sold dope to. Like, he didn't... I don't even think he sold dope to them. I think he just gave them dope, so he basically had a harem. And he was just this computer dork. He made money off of tech shit. And it's like, oh, is this... I remember being 14 being like, is this what a pimp is? Just a fucking loser? Just a nerd?
Would he hoe them?
I don't know. I think so, though.
I mean, what's the point? I don't know. Sometimes it's like, do I not like pussy as much as other guys to be a sociopath?
Yeah.
Because some guys are just fine with being a sociopath to be around pussy.
I think a lot of those guys, I think, enjoy the like domination of it more than the actual pussy.
Yeah, they just don't like them. I don't know. Pussy's fickle.
Which
Love,
a lot of
love is
people
forever.
that fuck a lot of women, you'd think that they'd like women. You know?
You think they would love them the most.
You think that this is the guy that loves women the most. And then it's just like, no, this is just like a guy who fucks a lot because he wants to hurt his girlfriend.
Yeah, it's really weird. You think those guys would be like, I love women so much.
Yeah.
They fuck me, and they're so sweet.
Yeah.
And I think they should have everything they need. I think if they ever have a kid, they should get a whole year off of work.
Yeah.
But those guys don't think that way at all.
Yeah, they're like, I like women because they come here in a box sometimes.
Sometimes. That's their favorite type of lady, is box ladies.
Yeah. I remember there used to be a
You
bunch
think that shit's fancy.
Oh, are
You're
we
broke.
doing this? Are we doing this on the podcast? Is the fancy bit?
Your broke ass be thinking that shit fancy.
There's a bunch of like jerk off massage parlors near my job in Nashville.
Okay.
I remember one time I drove to work and it was like there was like a police crime scene over that, and then one of my coworkers was like, "Yeah, somebody came in and shot the manager."
Oh my god.
Yeah, and then I was talking to my other friend about it, and I was like, "Yeah, like a jerk off massage parlor got shot up." And it turned out he was like, "Oh, I heard about that." And it turned out we were talking about two entirely different jerk off massage parlors that got shot up near my work.
I wonder if it was the same guy.
Probably, maybe not. I think that they were like a year difference.
You know, it makes me feel good that at least this is what I do with my life.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Even if it's like not successful, it's like it's like at least this is the worst we're doing is maybe saying stuff that bothers people.
Yeah.
And we're not trying to do that either. We're
Yeah.
not even like, trying to be edge. So it's just like,
Well, it's just like when you talk, it's like maybe some bad stuff will be said. You know, there's stuff we're probably gonna have to cut. You know?
it was always interesting to me, the bar that people have for their life, where they're like, why would I leave Tampa? I have 3 strippers addicted to heroin. What else could I need? And you're like, fucking anything? Like,
Yeah.
what? Like the amount
Yeah.
of people that are like the kings of shitty towns.
Yeah, it's like, why would I ever leave Omaha? I steal my Nana's back medicine.
Yeah, they're like, this is a good setup.
Yeah.
I got a great thing going. She's dying.
Yeah.
She'll be dead and all her pills will be mine.
They don't
2
even put
weeks.
methadone in orange juice out here, so I can just shoot it all I want.
Motherfuckers do that?
Yeah, I think they used to have it in like a gel that you could bang it with.
Do you Google these things? Where do you find all
No,
this
I
at?
just
You
I
know
just
a
know
lot.
I just know people. It's a thing that I'm fascinated with.
You're
you
kind
know?
of a folk man yourself.
Yeah, I also used to like talk to homeless people. Like I don't do that out here. But like, cause my job, it was like the only place in like a shitty neighborhood that would like give homeless people coffee and popcorn.
Okay.
So they would go hang out.
Popcorn is so funny.
We just had a popcorn machine and like a really nice like Keurig. So homeless guys would come by and just chill in the break room. They just let homeless guys chill in the break room. There's this guy named Shine.
What job was this?
It was at the that car dealership I worked at, which is now destroyed by a tornado.
Okay, so you're like it was a used car?
Yes.
Assuming? Okay. So you're buying a used car, and then when you go into the office to sign the papers, there's a guy named, what's his name?
Shine.
So Shine is just sitting in there eating popcorn, drinking Keurig.
Talking about like hookers he's bought. He asked me one time, "You ever fuck a girl that has 3 dicks in her?"
So he's saying before he even put his dick in her.
She already had 3 dicks in her.
Oh, then she's already full. Mouth, ass, and pussy. What else? Where's he going to put his dick?
I
2 in
don't
the pussy,
know.
I guess?
And he's probably fucking like the grimiest. I remember one time he told me that he had to kick his wife out of his house because she kept using.
Do sex workers fuck homeless guys?
Yeah,
Yeah?
I think so. It's like that's just more clientele, you know. I also think it's like
gosh, you
homeless sex workers.
You should let... Oh, God, that is a thing. God damn it. Shit is so fucked. You're
Yeah.
living out of a tent. You get fucked for a living.
Yeah,
God, poor people. Poor things, then.
that's the thing. You like every once in a while, you'll just be driving around and it'll send you in a deep depression when you actually think about what these people's lives are like.
I mean, it's crazy how like we're like a couple miles away from like third world level poverty.
Oh yeah.
Like
people are like, I never live in LA. And it's like, no, it's fine as long as you're cool with being sad all the time.
yeah, really, it's god damn it. It is so funny that like I'll be like, damn, I hate my life. And there's literally homeless people trying to sell their pussy.
Oh yeah.
You don't have a home and you're trying
They're
to
just shooting
sell.
up in an abscess.
And you know the saddest part is that selling the pussy is like the best idea they've had.
Oh yeah.
It's like a good idea.
Where they're just like, I don't know enough about cars to steal catalytic converters.
Right.
But I have a pussy.
But I do have a pussy, and you don't need to know shit about shit.
If you have a pussy and you sell it, all you need to know is like figure out which guys are gonna jump you.
Yeah, most of the time, most Johns aren't like, damn, I would fuck her, but she's not intelligent.
Yeah.
It's not really a
I like
prerequisite.
I like fucking hookers because of the conversation.
I mean, man, this lady I paid for sex, she was so inquisitive. And
Strippers
curious.
are hilarious though. Like if you just like talk to them.
Sure, they have a great perspective on life.
I remember
They're like almost like existential.
Yeah.
They're like, this doesn't matter.
This girl was telling me about this. Her friend got shot in a strip club that she usually works at, and she was like, "Well, she shouldn't have been talking shit."
Yeah. I mean, they've got a real brass tacks look at life.
Yeah.
I've always thought it's very funny. OnlyFans girls are very funny because if you ever meet them, they do all this like naked stuff online, but they always love crafts.
Oh yeah.
Every OnlyFans girls is like, I like woodworking, or like, look at this thing I painted.
Yeah.
And it's a very fun American life that they're like, oh yeah, I just like making my own puzzles. And the
Yeah.
way I supply that is by showing people pictures of my pussy.
Oh yeah.
Those people, I mean, good for them. It's just like, wow. They're also, they're all very like silly people.
Yeah.
They're very silly. And I'm not calling them dumb. I'm saying like actually they're silly, like whimsical.
Yeah.
If you go to like an OnlyFans girl's apartment, there's all these crafts around.
Oh, have you fucked an OnlyFans girl?
Once, a long time ago. And it was, yeah, she loved woodworking.
Huh.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just the one girl you fucked though.
I notice it a lot.
Okay.
Because it's like, a lot of times, sometimes OnlyFans girls will also just be viral on Twitter for like telling jokes,
Yeah.
you know? And they always have a hobby.
Yeah.
They like play the harp or something, you know what I mean? They like got something.
One thing I've noticed is a lot of times OnlyFans girls, they'll make a tweet that goes really viral, and it's always like, guys don't want to date sex workers because they have small dicks.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, is that true? Is that why?
Yeah, a lot of the stuff is, it's like, you're a pussy if you don't want to fuck me.
And it's like, I don't know. It just seems like you feel bad. You feel guilty about doing this.
It's a bit of protesting too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an odd sell to the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's like, if you don't want to date me, you're a fucking asshole. It's like, well, what if I don't like your personality?
Yeah.
That could be a part of it, you know.
Well, that does suck though. That like as a sex worker, like the options you have are like literal criminals.
Yeah, well, I mean, definitely if you are like actually on the street, it's a lot of that.
Well,
But,
I think even OnlyFans people, they like, because the guys that are going to be cool with that, a lot of times are also guys that are like, yeah, I break car windows.
yeah.
That's my we're the same.
I mean, OnlyFans is like, if I really loved a girl and she did OnlyFans, like I could probably, like, as long as she's not fucking other guys, I could probably get over the whole like just guys.
Yeah, I think
jerking off to her.
Yeah,
'Cause that's
I
not
think,
like her doing something.
Yeah, it's just her finger blasting herself. You
She
know.
posts a picture and then guys jerk off to it. You know what I mean? And usually they have people working for them that message guys anyway. It's never like them doing it.
Oh,
if
yeah.
if they're successful. So I could get over. So it's like you have a few guys that are normal and are like, I'm okay with it. You know,
Yeah.
I'd like eventually maybe we have different careers, but you know, it's okay.
Yeah.
But then everybody else is like, oh yeah. It's the same thing as like there are tons of like I would have sex with people that are like overweight, you know, if I was attracted to them,
Yeah.
and liked them and shit. I'm sure there are tons of overweight people I'd fuck, but then there's also guys that are like, I only fuck fat people.
It is kind of, yeah.
You know, and that's like the issue that all those people face, where they're like, am I a fetish to you?
Oh, yeah.
Or are you just like cool? Like,
You
are
know-
you just not a dick, or am I like a circus animal to you?
Well, that's the thing with the short king thing, where it's like that's not helping anybody by making short guys a like fetish and niche.
Well, that's weird because I don't think it's a fetish. What it is what they're proclaiming is that short guys are usually nicer, good at eating pussy, want to make you come.
But you're still like taking this whole person and just kind of like
Totally.
niching them.
Totally, but I think it's even weirder because it's not even like a fetish. It's like, no, they're all good because they're so naturally shitty that they must be good people.
It's patronizing.
It is odd. It's almost like how like treating like, well, like dogs are so dumb they can only be kind.
Yeah.
It's the same thing is where it's like, well, he's so small and little, how could he be evil? And you're like, I don't know, he could just not give a fuck. You could just choose to be a piece of shit. You don't need to like have prerequisites.
Dude, my life would be so much worse if I was like not 5'4". Like,
you would be so much less funny.
Oh yeah.
Because I think a lot of what's funny about you is a certain dastardly kind of quality, a sort of mischievous, you're sort of like a Shakespearean character, like a little fairy that causes mischief.
Well,
like,
I probably wouldn't have left
my
my hometown if I could just like easily get pussy.
Yeah, that literally stops a lot of guys.
Oh,
from
yeah.
doing anything.
Well, you see like tall guys doing stand-up like a lot of times, and you're like, well, this isn't for you, you know?
Yeah, it is funny because like that.
And
sounds
they're
like
never funny.
It sounds like a hacky thing comedians say, but it is pretty true. Where it's
Yeah.
just like whenever I see a guy that's like really hot, I'm just like, I don't know, I just don't really get the point.
There's a guy that I know. I'm not going to say his name. Very good-looking guy, but all of his jokes are racist. You know?
Yeah.
And it's because that's just what he thinks comedy is.
Yeah, I noticed that a lot too. A lot of A-type tall guys that like look like what like Indian men on Instagram aspire to be.
Oh, yeah.
Like all those guys, all of their jokes are like, I hate women.
Yeah.
And I'm racist.
Yeah,
and it's like,
yeah.
do you just think you can do that because you're tall?
Yeah.
And the answer is yes.
Oh,
the answer
yeah.
is truly yes. Is that they're like, yeah, dude, I just fucking, who gives? I'm fucking sick.
Yeah.
I'm awesome.
My roommate Mikey is very, very good-looking guy, and it's so funny that he keeps trying to set up. Well, he keeps getting stood up, which is funny. And it's like I kind of had this realization of like, oh, the women that like you like suck, because you're like a good-looking guy, and that's all they're looking for. So they don't have to like respect you or like value your time.
Right. It's the male version of being objectified.
Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of women is he trying to go out? Are they like sorority type people?
Well, that's the women that like him because of how he looks.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, yeah.
And like art girls are like intimidated by him, you know?
They probably just think he's like a Nazi.
Oh, basically.
They
yes.
just see a tall guy in a dark blue shirt with
Yeah.
like a blonde short cut.
And he's like very funny, very smart, nice guy.
Yeah, he's a sweet guy.
Yeah, and then it's
Very
like,
nice.
and then there women, they're just like, no, I just want to have sex with this guy because he played football.
Yeah, I think that's hilarious because like I know Mikey a little bit, and he seems to have no ego about him.
Yeah.
He seems to be very polite, well-mannered. I think he probably has the opposite of an ego. It seems like he might even be a little hard on himself.
Yeah.
But I think that's so funny to see him and be like, oh yeah, you big, strong dummy.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, no, I feel pretty bad about myself most days.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's just like, yeah,
He's like moody.
Yeah.
He's like,
Totally. He does stand up. It's like
I like asked him to take out the garbage one time, and he like acted like a teenager about it. He's like, no, and then walked upstairs.
Yeah. People act like all tall guys are like Marines.
Yeah.
Do you know how many tall guys are just walking around like, oh, like Gary Goldman is sad as fuck. That guy's like 6'8".
Gary Goldman seems like he would like fight a motherfucker over some bullshit.
He might have a little temper to him.
He seems like a very angry guy.
I don't know. He seems. I don't know. Actually, I feel like he might be a more. I think he's sensitive.
Yeah, and I think that makes him angry.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he lashes.
He has this weird thing where he's like pretending to be too nice, you know, and it's like, I know you're pissed off,
but he gets pissed in his jokes.
Yeah,
he has some stuff where he's pissed.
I just could easily see him getting like mad at a waiter or something.
I hope not.
Oh, have you ever watched? We used to watch Dave Ramsey all the time in school, and the funniest.
Who is that?
He's like a guy. He's like a conservative, like economist
Yeah,
type
he's
guy.
I think my mom used to like buy his books.
Yeah, well,
Wayne
somebody.
Dyer too.
I don't know about that.
He's more like wellness, I think. But yeah, it's
But-
another bald guy with a white goatee.
But I was gonna say the funniest description I heard is just some random guy at Oh shit, Meredith's texting me. She just asked if I was with you.
We have been recording for a while.
Yeah, I was thinking we could cut this into 2, or honestly, I mean, the more we talk, the less we have to talk about.
We'll cut a few parts.
We might just be able to edit this into we can.
No, this is one episode. They get a long one for the first one, and then after that, expect less.
Okay.
Let's cut it now, though.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say about Dave Ramsey.
Talk about Dave Ramsey.
Well, I remember we were watching his videos, and somebody was just like, "I don't like this guy. He seems like he'd be mean to waiters."
Yeah, he would. All right.
Well, that's the end of the podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed our shit.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Fuck it, right?